Makers! So nice to have your company. I hope you're well. I hope you've enjoyed your week. Yeah, enjoyed your week so far. Get that sentence out properly. And before I go any further, what a privilege, what a pleasure. We've already spent a few hours with each other this morning. Yes, we were up at the crack of dawn. It's the gorgeous Fleur. How are you doing, honey?
I'm all right, thanks to you.
Yeah, have you woken up yet?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Just about.
Yeah,
what time did your alarm go off this morning?
4:30.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
But I must admit, you know when you have to get up really early, we were filming a bit of a DVD, as much as I'm going to say. Not going to say any more, are we, Fleur?
Nope.
No. Mum's the word. It is a big secret. But you know when you've got to get up really early in the morning and subconsciously you don't switch off because you're thinking you're going to sleep through the alarm. That's me.
Yeah.
I think I managed about 2 or 3 hours last night.
I think I saw every hour on the clock, kept waking up thinking I've got another hour.
Yeah.
And then I was conscious that I had about 7 alarm clocks set on my phone.
Kind of like at the beginning of 4 weddings and a funeral, you know, where there's alarms everywhere. Well, if you're having a lie-in, fantastic. You stay there with your cuppa. But we'll provide all of the amazing deals. We'll provide all of the inspiration, or I should say Fleur will. And we've got so much to bring you. Deal of the day. Oh, it's 11 a.m. this morning. It's, I think, one of our swankiest bags that we have actually commissioned. It's that quite structured bag. Comes with, of course, the rigid handle. Has got individual sections and compartments, zip compartments, Velcro compartments. Inside it's actually separated as well. Coming up as the deal of the day today. So 11 a.m. is the time to make sure that you are watching to get hold of that. I don't know about the quantity. I know we've got a big quantity, but I don't think it could even be a sellout, couldn't it, Kim, in the first deal of the day auction. We got 200. We've got 200 in stock, so it's not actually that many. Okay, who loves their chainmail? We were talking earlier on, Maggie and I, Maggie's on camera by the way, Maggie, we were saying that it's quite mathematical, isn't it? And if you're a problem solver, if you like patterns and repetition, you'll love chainmail.
Yeah, definitely.
So anybody that's new, you'll absolutely adore chainmail. Now, I'm going to start with some of our 925 sterling silver findings. Haven't seen sterling silver jump rings, rather, for... I can't remember the last time I brought it to you. So we're starting with these. As you can see, the measurement, 6mm, so perfect for your chainmail. Perfect for all of your jewellery making needs, actually. You've got 50 in total. You can actually see cumulatively just how substantial that gram content weight is. I'll hold those up for you as well, so you can actually see the dimensions and you can see the size. Now, these are precision cut. So they are already open, which means you haven't got to then go in with a saw, and also means that you have got that precision of join. Would that be the right way to describe it?
Yeah, you've got 2 flush ends that will go back together seamlessly without any show of where that join is.
See, so eloquently put. I can't seem to construct a sentence this morning, Fleur.
That's it now, I'm done now.
Is that as much as we're getting from you? Yeah, whatever. You're full of amazingly eloquent words. Now, Kim, my producer's just said, Ellen, I've just looked on the Jewellery Maker website and I can't find a single sterling silver jump ring. So this is the only sterling silver jump rings that we can find. There's rose gold plated, but in the plain silver, this is all we have. So I'm not surprised that we've already got lots and lots and lots of you on those phone lines already checking out. So if you're thinking, okay, I might get, I might wait and get them a little bit later on the week. I don't know if we'll have it. If this is the only sterling silver.
I can't remember the last time I saw sterling silver.
Pretty much everybody is multi-buying, and perhaps, Fleur, you could explain why people tend to multi-buy on sterling silver, apart from the obvious, well, they're not in stock very frequently, but there are other reasons, aren't there?
Yeah, so the 6mm jump rings are perfect size for your Byzantine, which is where a lot of people start from, because from Byzantine there's about another 20 or 30 variants off of Byzantine. So by learning one weave, you can learn, in effect, about 20 or 30 other weaves. So it's the perfect size. You need between 120 and 150 depending on the size of the bracelet that you're making and the size of your clasp that you're going to finish it off with. So that's why we multi-buy, because we need at least 2 packs with a large clasp, or 3 packs to have a nice 7-inch bracelet with a nice
for a
clasp
full sterling silver bracelet, bear in mind.
Yeah.
So that's going to go, you know, if you think about sterling silver precious metals, your gold, your platinum, whatever it might be, you know, they are of straight away instantaneous monetary value, you know. It's not necessarily, or it's not just, I should say, the finish of the piece. The gram weight itself is like holding pound notes, you know. We need to remember that. Look at how many of you are already there. Very good morning to you. Nice to have your company, and lots of you, I'm looking at 2s, 3s, 4s in terms of how many you're actually choosing to buy. Now again, for those that are new to chainmail, and I find it absolutely fascinating to actually make a oh gosh, I've gone blank now, Fleur. What's that lovely circular? Oh, Mobius.
The Mobius ring, yeah.
How many do you need for the Mobius ring?
3, minimum of 3.
There we go. So that's a lot of Mobius rings.
So yeah, and one Mobius ring on an earring finding looks very, very high end. And for 6 jump rings, for my Mobius ring sterling silver earrings, they're about £20 for 6 jump rings.
Okay.
And obviously your shepherd's hooks.
And your shepherd hooks on top of that, because it's all sterling silver. Yep. There's no, well, if you choose to do it all in sterling silver, of course, and it's relatively easy. A Mobius ring is actually quite easy to learn.
Yeah, very, very easy to learn. Yeah,
so,
very simple.
So please don't think that you have to multi-buy. It's just whether you choose to make the really sort of heavy investment pieces. You might not even want these for chainmail. In actual fact, you might not be a chainmail jewellery maker. Maybe it's something that you're thinking of getting into in the future. Fabulous. Watch this space. But you also need jump rings. They are a necessity, really, in terms of all of your findings. So you need them to finish off any item of jewellery, whether it be a bracelet, whether it be a necklace, earrings. You need your jump rings. They are essentials, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, earrings is a great example, because sometimes when you put if you've made a wire work piece for an earring, it doesn't sit the right way. So you need a jump ring, or you want it to move, you want it to have a movable piece. It needs a jump ring there to actually sit it the right way and for it to move.
Yes, yeah, to make sure it's pointing in the right direction, actually. Okay, lots and lots and lots of you with us. Good morning. Let's bring that price tag. Let's bring it in for you. Just remember that you've got over 6 grams of sterling silver here at £8.95. Straight away I saw Fleur. Your head jolted towards me then in that direction. Not me, I'm not responsible. Incredible deal.
That is an incredible deal, because a full sterling silver bracelet for myself, for when I sell a Byzantine bracelet, would be in the ballpark of definitely over £50, depending on the class and that's with no gemstones on it at all. So then that's my ballpark figure for a Byzantine bracelet, £50. Yeah. So,
and that still seems a very good deal. I mean, if you think this is not a small amount of sterling silver here.
Not at all. But it doesn't take me that long, because I work per hour. So it'll take me about 40 minutes to create a bracelet. So my work time is less for me. So depending on how you want to price your pieces, or but for me, what a beautiful gift to give to somebody for a 21st or an 18th engagement.
Yeah, something without shadow of doubt they'd keep for that special occasion. Now we've still got a bit of quantity remaining in the vault. Kim says don't need to do this, it's not a necessity. These are the only sterling silver jump rings that we have available currently, but it's early, we get that Saturday morning, and you've tuned in with us bright and early, so we thank you for that. Give you a cheeky pound off back in your pocket. I'll keep recapping these throughout the course of the mornings, stock permitting, obviously, to make sure that you know exactly how we're doing on stock levels. 100 have already sold out, and we have about 40 in baskets. So if you think about it now, and I am looking at my tablet right now, and I think pretty much, gosh, 90% plus are choosing to get 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s even. So that quantity that we have can soon be swallowed up, can't it, Fleur?
It can. But I mean, if you want to just buy just one to have a go at chainmail, a little small section of chainmail in the middle of a necklace or in the middle of a bracelet, you can macrame from chainmail, because you've got the loops there, you jump rings to macrame from. So just a small section can look equally as nice as a full chainmail bracelet.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're thinking, how do I learn? There's DVDs available on our website. We've got DVDs coming up within the show, actually. There's tutorials, etc. So stay tuned with us as well, because Fleur will be giving demonstrations throughout the course of the show. Sabrina in West Sussex, good morning to you, my darling. She said, I had a bad migraine yesterday, but still wanted to be productive. So I made my first Mobius ring with 5, 7 and 9 jump rings. They're that simple. Oh, I hope you're feeling better, my lovely. But there we go. Fantastic.
They're fabulous.
Keeping yourself busy as well.
Yeah, and you just, what I tend to do is make them all and pop them in a little box, and then you've always got some little things to add into. If you've got a piece that you want a little bit more to add into it, you can always pop a bit of chainmail.
Little decorative feature, and like I said, just on a pair of sterling silver.
Yeah.
Shepherd hooks looks beautiful, doesn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm going to move on for the time being, because we've got some gorgeous metal sheets. Now, this lovely lady to my right, I might have already paved the conversation of that stunning mobile that you made. I was like, oh, that's nice. Look really nice in little one's nursery. Already approached this conversation, haven't I, Fleur? Could you make it with these?
You certainly could, yeah.
Now, we only have... We're doing the copper first. They're all copper. We're doing it individually. Oh, it's all 3! So you could do a 3-tone one. Try not to get my fingerprints on it. Okay, so these are your copper sheets. And again, I'll lean on the lovely Fleur for her wonderful, wonderful tuition and inspiration. So it doesn't have to be mobiles. You can use these for jewellery, can't you?
Yeah, you certainly can.
They're plain sheets. You can see the measurement as well. So it's 0.5 millimetre in terms of its thickness. And you've got the 3 different tones. The yellow gold, the silver, and also the rose gold in copper. So what do we do with these wonderful sheets?
You can do something as simple as getting your metal shears and cutting like squares and triangles and sections off and using them as pendants, so they can be the base of a pendant. You can actually manipulate this around a cabochon for it to hold a cabochon in place. You can use your saw and saw out little sort of like animals or emblems, something like that. And I get a lot of my inspiration from adult colouring books, tattoo ideas, line drawings. So basically all you do is you print out your idea, glue it on with some really cheap washable glue, so like the stick glue, and then using your saw, and we showed how to set the saw up last Sunday and how to start your sawing out. Set your saw up into your bench peg and you just cut out the shapes. But we've got all sorts of different tools. We've got disc cutters where you can cut out discs. We've got doming blocks where you can dome your metals. We've got texturing hammers and stamps. So if you're into your stamping and you've run out of stamping blanks, you can cut your own stamping blanks up and you can stamp with these as well. Yeah, absolutely. And we had a stamping show recently, so a lot of you might be actually just getting the tools. So that's the kind of thing that you can be using. Already, lots of you choosing to multi-buy. Kerry and Paul's bought 3. Hello to you, Alison. Shirley buying 2. West Midlands, Patricia, Natalie, Gail's bought 2, Susan's bought 2, we've got Webbitters with it still in the basket, so very good luck to you. You are getting all 3 sheets and you can see they measure 6 inches by 3 inches in terms of their... yes, I had the blackboard underneath. Thanks, well spotted, Maggie. So there are, you can see the colours a lot better now, can't you? See those colours much better. You can use these with so many different mediums, can't you? And they don't have to be massively highly skilled. No, you can. 6 inches is a perfect length for a bangle, for an open-end bangle. So all you need to do is cut however wide you want that bangle to be, cut straight down with your shears. And if you've got the large stamping toolkit, you've got some French shears within there, which are the blue-handled large shears, or we've got the red-handled, the red shears, which are the really heavy-duty shears. You can use use those, and you can just cut straight down into a nice straight line. Use your metal files just to file off the sharp edges, and bend it around your bracelet mandrel.
Use the actual mandrel again. We've got that coming up, so to create that shape, that form, and or use it really sparingly as well. I love these. I think they just really create a very professional piece of jewellery. Lots of you are already there. Let's bring that price tag in because I can see where. But really, are we going to £7.95
for all three?
All three.
And 0.5 is the best gauge to start on because it's very malleable but still got the strength.
So we're talking about this thickness now, aren't we? The 0.5 thickness. Yeah. So it's not so thick that you can't saw or cut through it.
No, and as soon as you start to work harden it like your wire, so when you work harden metal sheet, you'll use a hammer. So as soon as you start to hammer your bangle around your bangle mandrel or your pendant, it will work harden it so it won't bend out of shape at all, but it's malleable enough because it's all to do with the molecules inside the metal, so we call it annealed. So, but if you could actually bend those now with your fingers.
Can I? Shall I do that?
It will flex because it's 0.5.
Okay. They are, by the way, just to give you a heads up, they are looking like they're going to be a sellout, so get them as soon as you possibly. Oh yeah, they have got real flexibility to them, but you can texture these and harden them,
you can texture them, yes, if you use your texturing hammers, if you use your punchers, anything like that, anything that you hit the metal with will start to work harden it, exactly the same as your wire. So as soon as you start to work with your wire, it starts to harden because the molecules dense down together.
Oh, she's so clever, isn't she?
No.
You're very, very busy, by the way. I bet you were great at your maths and your science and everything.
No, I wasn't. And I had to have extra lessons in maths and science.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Maybe because I didn't go to the ones at school and my dad had to pay for ones. And if my mum's watching, she'll be laughing now because he didn't find out till parents' evening.
So, well, that surprises me because actually you're quite with obviously your chainmail and everything and what you just said. But yeah, it's quite funny actually because Tom, my fiance, was saying to me, you must have been really good at chemistry in school, and I was like, no. Yeah, I really wasn't. Now I've actually put the connection to gemstones.
Yeah,
it gets your interest going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's things like Pythagoras theorem. We would never use that, but we actually use it when you're making jewellery. If you're working out ring diameters and...
I could not tell you what Pythagoras theorem is all about right now.
No.
I couldn't.
3.1.
Anyway, looking like it's going to sell out, so do get it whilst you can. Did I just hear we're going on to Abalone? Now I'm really excited about this because I've been literally busting to speak to you about Abalone. I was watching, we've only got 46, be on the phone lines and as soon as you possibly can. I was watching a programme the other day, I think it was on some kind of Discovery Channel anyway, and it was about abalone mining or diving, and I actually thought, I was watching this and it was in Australia. Funny enough, it was in shark-infested waters, so they were saying about the dangers of abalone diving as well. It is considered a delicacy in as a food, but abalone actually is it's not a sustainable source, so it's actually illegal to dive for abalone. So I was watching this going, is it not illegal in Australia then? Because they were blatantly doing it and obviously risking their lives in the process of doing to get these green-lipped abalone. Anyway, so I actually asked Hannah about it, and Hannah Oxbury, our in-house gemologist, and she said to me, Eleanor, we make sure that in China they actually farm abalone very much like your pearls. It is a sustainable source, it's an ethical source, so please be careful where you buy it from. I've been dying to tell you that because it really puzzled me. I was like, how is there a programme about abalone diving when it's actually illegal to dive for it? Unless of course that's different in Australia. I don't know. This is what we're referring to. It is not only a delicacy as a food type in Japan, most certainly, it's also one of the most beautiful oceanic gemstones coming from a living organism. It forms within a mollusk, and these gorgeous mollusks have an incredible play of colour. Now, our abalone, and it is, it's not, you don't get this everywhere, is on both sides. So you can see the beauty of the shell on both sides of the gemstone. I've got less than 50 of these available. And I've been waiting for I don't know how long to talk to you about that programme. So that tells you how little we actually have within our vault. Carol, well done. Margaret, you've got yours. Kerry and Paul, John and Janet, Coraline. Congratulations, and that's exactly what I would have done, is just been on those phone lines as quickly as I possibly could to get hold of it. West Yorkshire, you're there. Judith, Jan and Patricia. So 43, did you say, Kim, was the quantity that we actually had? 46. Okay, we've got about 25 left now. So first come, first serve. Chromatic swathes and shifts of colour. They are big, beautiful pendants, as you can see. 20 by 15 millimetres. And it's coming your way this Saturday morning at £12.95 only. I love abalone.
Yeah. When you go to all the seaside shops, or you go away and all the abroad, and they always have abalone, it's always so expensive, the jewellery. It's so expensive. You can pay a lot of money just for one pendant that size. You can pay like upwards of like £50 I've seen on a chain just for one pendant. Nothing, no wire work around it or anything like that.
Well, if we think about it, you know, it's not just shell, and I really learned something from that documentary. Not only did it make me scratch my head a little bit, but it made me sort of think, you know, I think I'm certainly guilty of doing this in the past, thinking abalone, oh, it's a shell. But that devalues it. This is a really rare shell, to a point that it's very, very, very closely monitored in terms of how much is available and sustainable. You know, it would be an absolute crying shame if this was to become extinct. So please make sure you do source from a local, an ethical, supplier. Absolutely amazing. It's going to be a sellout. Congratulations to every single one of you. And again, I've never thought of this before, but could abalone be like your Tahitian pearls or your Akoya pearls in the future? You know, command massive price points because of the rarity and the cost of farming. I think that could be, there's potential. Fabulous, well done. Stay on those phone lines. Rosaline, Marilyn, Linda, Angela, you've got yours. What would be incredible alongside your abalone? This is a beautiful combination. Oh, this strand is amazing. There are only 31 of them available though. Only 31. I wish I had more. These are big, beautiful peacock pearls, but they're very intense in their colours, aren't they? You know, sometimes peacock pearls can be bordering on navy or black. These are definitely peacock pearls, aren't they?
I could see some amazing colours. Very reminiscent of the abalone, but I can see some golds.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Real flashes of gold.
Yeah, they're just beautiful, those.
Aren't they? Almost metallic-like in terms of the colouring. I mean, look at those flashes of colours across the entirety. I love, love, love this strand. Of course, with their organic shapes, they're flat coins, but they have got obscurities, they have got curves and crevices and angles, but the perfect amount of colour has been influenced to these beautiful pearls. So to me, it's not just like a peacock blue. You get all of those visions, don't you, within? Love it. Yeah, if you've got the abalone, I think you need to get hold of this. I think that straight away is a marriage made in heaven. Yeah,
with a gold metal sheet as well. Cut a square out of that and have it as a diamond pendant. Just cut it as a square and drill it, like pop a hole in the top, and then set one of the abalone in front of it, and then pearl knot onto the pearls, and that would be a show-stopping piece of jewellery.
Kim said to me then, just as I didn't want to interrupt Fleur, but £7.95.
Wow.
Yeah, Kim said, I have to bring the price in now, they're going to sell out. I'm going to have to bring that price in. Well done. What a combination. Take those out so I don't confuse anybody. But as you can see, straight down to the last 6 opportunities available. Grab them, grab them, grab them whilst you can. They're fabulous, aren't they?
They are.
Love that. Gone. On and gone. On and gone. Should we do some more pearls? The silver ones. They're not grey. I think of grey. See, grey, we think about a flat colour, don't we? These aren't grey, they're silver. Can I bring those pearls back? Can I bring the abalone back? Can I put these silver pearls in the centre? They are definitely silver, aren't they?
They're definitely silver.
Do you see what I mean? because of the pearlescence, they're not grey, are they? They've got a shine.
Yeah, but when you think of a grey car, it's flat grey. If you think of a silver car, it's got like a metallic pearlescence.
Yeah. A pearlescence, yes, exactly. There's a difference, isn't there?
There is.
Massive, massive difference. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's only our graphics, but to me they're definitely silver pearls because of the pearlescence, because of that luster across the surface of these. If you got the silver sheets earlier on, earlier on when I showed you the gold sheet with the abalone and the peacock pearls, fabulous. Now you can include the silver colour, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. And again, keep the abalone as a pendant as well. So, because that abalone's got so many colours through it, it will go with everything. But also as well, you can put the rose gold with that silver pearl.
That's true. Shall I take these out just so I don't confuse anybody? Because I think they've both sold out. In fact, I know they've both sold out. Yes, but yeah, the rose. Any of these, to be fair, they'll go. Any of these gorgeous sheets would look amazing with it. Fantastic, aren't they? That 3-tone. Have to bring that price tag in for you. They're lovely rice bead shape, so you can see they've got a lovely drop. Should be £7.95 apparently. That's already an incredible deal. Not today. We've had time and time and time sell out. This is going to be exactly the same. For your silver cultured pearls, £5.95.
I would put those sterling silver jump rings in between each one and have a beautiful bracelet.
Oh, like
The
what?
6
Like your
millimetre,
jade?
yeah,
And
like my jade one, yeah. Just put a beautiful sterling silver jump ring in between.
And that's all you need do.
Yep.
All you need do. Kathy, Tatiana, Lynn, West Yorkshire, Fiona, Natalie, hello to you. We've got Derbyshire there, nice to be with you. Carol and Luchen in Bristol. What a pretty name, Luchen. Yvonne, Dawn, Susan, Kent, congratulations. Love it, absolutely love it. I'm buying so many pearls lately. I always have, don't mind, to be fair. Elle, don't make out that it's a new thing. It's not. I've always bought lots of pearls. But at this price point, wow, it's a no-brainer.
If you knot in between each one of those and you're knotting silk, if you use a card, we get them in deals. Usually they're about £2 a card. So for under £10 with your clasp, you can make a beautiful pearl knotted necklace.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Easy as.
Yeah.
Easy as. And I know I saw a post actually from one of our lovely jewellery maker friends on Facebook, and it saying about pearl knotting, asking about pearl knotting. You actually do a workshop, Fleur, don't you?
Yeah, we've got 2 workshops. We've got pearl knotting for beginners and pearl knotting projects as well. So with the projects, we're using connectors and knotting up to connectors and then knotting away. But yeah, we do a beginner's one as well.
Or if you can't make it here to the studio, then do have a little look on our website or on YouTube. There are lots of demonstrations by Fleur. Very little sleep last night.
I know.
Very little sleep. Sorry, Fleur. As well for you to actually have a look at. Now, gosh, time is racing already this morning. I hope you're well. It's your first star buy up next. Beautiful hot pink. That's just what I look for in the summer months. Something fiery, something sassy, something zesty, something feminine, and something beautiful. Now, quartz, gem quality quartz I should rephrase, because there is a big difference between a mineral and a gem quality example of this gemstone. It's actually only sourced in a few locations around the world. When it has been influenced with such beautiful colourings like this fuchsia pink, bring you the fire that you would expect in a diamond or within a zircon, but add that flaming fuchsia, almost towards the temptress, like what we were referring to the other day, Fleur. Those wonderful colours, rich and igniting colours that only need one gemstone really, and you're going to see that hotness, I suppose. Now, if you wanted to make a direct comparisons, to me, a sapphire, a pink sapphire, will aspire to look like this. You know, the more intense those colours are, the more borderline purple they are in a sapphire, the more valuable that pink sapphire is. The hotter, the better, really. You can get sort of pastel pinks in sapphires as well, but generally the more valued, the more considered would be sort of these big fuchsia colours, bold fuchsia colours. Now, on that basis, whenever you have any gemstone which kind of leans towards the high considered price points or is quite similar in terms of its appearance to a member of the big five, then you can expect, you know, a higher price tag generally. Now, these are brand new in. I think they're great for all different ages, not just sort of your 30-somethings, your 20-somethings. You know, my niece would absolutely love these. Absolutely love them. Briolette faceted, so you can see, I think that coating is really maximising on the faceting as well. It's enhancing, isn't it, the surface lustre.
Big glowing.
They do glow,
Absolutely.
don't they? So look how that coating, or the quality of the coating here, has only enhanced the cutting, which absolutely amazing that it's done that. So the sparkle is going to be maximised upon as well. So I slightly digress. Yeah, my niece would love to wear these. I know that. I would certainly enjoy wearing these. My mum, I know, would enjoy wearing these as well, because it is that feminine colour, but it's that fun feminine colour.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just thinking today, with it being there's a lot of horse racing on today with the Grand National Fascinators and that kind of thing, to give that real pop of colour to a headpiece, you know, either a tiara or a hair comb or a fascinator itself, they would give. And like you say, only a few.
Yeah, you don't need many, do you? Because look how they're reflecting on the back of my hand. You can actually see the reflection, can't you? You can actually see the pink reflecting on the back of my hand, glowing. Incredible. It's like there's a light bulb inside, isn't there? Okay, let's bring that star by price for you. Should be $11.95. But it's a star buy. It's the weekend. Flame hot pink for $7.95. Incredible. Get it whilst you can. Beautiful, exceptional faceting, and again, I think that coating is really maximising on it. You can, it's almost sometimes with a briolette cut, the facets can be quite subtle. Yeah. So yes, you'll see that surface lustre and that brilliance, but when you've added the colour like this, it's almost showing them off somewhat. Yeah. Well done, Caroline. Good morning, Manchester. Joan and Josie, Yorkshire, Derbyshire, Kathy, Patricia, Dorothy, Karen, London, Hazel, Oxfordshire. New buyers, welcome. 80 carats in total here of genuine gemstones, gem quality quartz, and like I said, there's a big difference. I really wish, and this is me getting on my soapbox to a certain degree, but I really wish we could put gem quality quartz on our graphics, because not everybody appreciates that there's such a polar opposite difference between gem quality quartz and what you'll find, well, 70% of the Earth's crust. Because most quartz is it's kind of like compact ice, I suppose, on the side of the road. You know, when it gets a little bit slushy after a snowfall? That's what quartz generally looks like. Gem quality, like this, rarely seen, sourced from only a few locations around the world. Good morning to Ali, John and Janet, Vivian, West Midlands, Kathy, Dorothy, Gillian, Hazel, Felicity, nice to be with you. Hello to you, Sweetha, Sandra, Tanya, you've got yours. Lots of lovely names watching this morning as well.
Beautiful names, aren't
really
they?
Pretty names. I love the femininity of this. And again, I'm thinking, yeah, races, maybe Ascot or a wedding.
I'm just thinking about the silver pearls as well. Just to put one in the middle of those silver pearls would look absolutely, or even three. You could like put them out onto like a fan style formation. So you put one and then a couple of pearls and then another one. So you spread them out a little bit. But they would look absolutely beautiful together.
They really would, wouldn't they?
Equally a black gemstone, but for me, I think that the silver would go beautifully.
Yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving the silver, and I also like the idea of a spinel with them as well. That would be incredible. That hot pink. To me, that's a little bit sort of rock chicky.
Yes.
to me.
Yeah,
a little bit sort of, yeah, I'm feminine, but I'm also, I'm a bit edgy.
But it would go perfectly with the first kit.
Oh, the first kit that we've got coming your way, yes, because we've got very unusual jump rings coming up. I'm going to have to move on. Stay where you are on those phones and do check out as soon as you possibly can. Yeah, so unusual new style jump rings. I've not seen them before coming up in the first kit, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Moving on to Tanzanite. It's a lot of Tanzanite. Less than 50 of these available. Now, this with the hot pink. Okay. If you love your Tanzanite, if you are an investor of all gemstones, if you purchase with the future in mind, be on those phone lines, because this is going to be an absolute steal of a deal. 40 carats of faceted rondelles, as you can see, slight graduation. 3x2 to 5x3 millimeters, and it's a long strand as well, 27 centimeters. You can see that consistency of colour. You can see the secondary hues coming through as well. I'm also noticing some quite bi-colour Tanzanite-esque gemstones there, where they actually have a bi-colour Tanzanite will have chromium in there. That's bringing you that greenish colour. Vanadium brings you the blue, chromium brings you the green. So it's that cocktail of the two which make that rarity of colour. So if you can see definite greens in a Tanzanite, then it has got trace elements of chromium. Very, very, very limited opportunity. Those of you that are collectors and investors of Tanzanite, this is a long strand, so you're getting a lot of gemstones here, which of course can be singled out for just, you know, just a few of the rondelles maybe, and create something fabulous that way. Or do what I do, and I do it quite a lot, is that I buy strands like this, and I've just got them in a very special box. Haven't yet created pieces of jewellery with yet, because it's not a purchase that I am going to regret. I have to say those words very carefully, you know, and hope that you know what I mean. Yeah?
I know what you mean, yeah.
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 I know it's not going to be something I'll go, oh, well, I shouldn't have bought that. I absolutely should buy it, without doubt. Already collectors and investors are there. Well done to every single one of you. Beautiful, long strand of gorgeous Tanzanite coming your way. As I said, an amazing deal, hence why I say be on the phone lines. Not $17.95, we are going lower. It's one of the lengthiest strands of Tanzanite that I've seen in a while. Actually, we had one which was 50 centimetres, but it was more of a considered purchase, £14.95. I mean, for 27 centimetres with your extension, so I'm going to, with your clasp, with your extender, maybe with a few spacer beads or with your jump rings, you know, you'd be retailing this at surely.
Oh gosh, if you use
60, 70, 80 pounds?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. If you use a little bit of sterling silver chain just to finish the end off, or even break it up so you've got a section for a necklace, a section for a bracelet, and a little pair of drop earrings with your sterling silver findings, you know, you're looking at, for a suite of jewellery like that, it'd be over £100.
Yeah, I think so.
For a necklace, bracelet,
it's yeah, I think so. We don't want to fall into a trap, and I understand. It depends where you. I'm assuming that you've got a jewellery business now, so you might not. You might make them for your own pleasure. But if you've got your own business, I appreciate that it does depend where you sell them, where in the country, what kind of events, etc. I understand that, but generally, people expect Tanzanite to be a 3-4 figure price tag gemstone. Yeah. We do, and we don't want to fall into the trap that Steve did once. Steve Bennett, former CEO, and I just briefly touch on this, and he won't mind me telling you, I'm sure, because he said to me once with his Burmese ruby, he actually said, you know, we've negotiated such an amazing deal, and we've passed that amazing deal on to our customers, and unfortunately now, I think some people think it's too good to be true. So yeah, we don't want to fall into that same trap. And Steve actually said, I don't know if I'll buy it again, because we've almost negotiated too good a price. Yeah. Too good a price. Well done to Kathy, Joan, Lynn, Alison, Molly, Hampshire, you've got yours. P in Hampshire, you've got yours too. Carol and Fiona in Surrey, nice to be with you. Beautiful lengthy strand. All you need to do is, for those of you that are new to jewellery making as well, is get some of our threading material. You can do that via our website. If it's your first purchase, by the way, it comes with a Get Started DVD and also booklet. Have a little look on jewellerymaker.com because there's loads of tutorials and demonstrations. Have a little look on YouTube as well. You can look at the lovely Fleur. Join us on all our social media sites as well, because we're very interactive as a family, you know. And I say Jewellery Maker is a family. Isn't it? We've all got a vested interest, not just in the creativity of jewellery making, but also the love and passion of genuine gemstones. And there is no bigger gem than Tanzanite right here, right now. Stay where you are on those phone lines. I need to move on because we're going to bring you some beautiful, is it this one? Oh, beautiful clasp. You're going to want to put it with your Tanzanite. Or maybe the Byzantine bracelet that you're making out of your sterling silver jump rings that we had earlier on. This is a little J hook. Gorgeous. Hold this one up for you so you can see just how intricate and beautiful this clasp is. Isn't that lovely? I'll turn it round so you can see. You attach the teardrop to one end of your piece, and then the other to the other side, and there is the hook, the simple hook. It's called a J hook. Very easy to connect on and off. You can always close it down if you want that J hook to be a little bit more secure. Perfect for neckline pieces.
Yeah. And they're perfect for chainmail as well, because if you say you've made your chainmail bracelet a little bit too long, you can actually hook these in a little bit further along the chainmail as well.
Right.
So they're great for chainmail.
So it makes it adjustable then?
Yeah, so you can make it adjustable, so you can have it, so if you say make it a little bit too long, you can alter the length, because sometimes you want a bracelet. I know sometimes if I'm wearing my chainmail bracelet I wear all the time, sometimes I want it longer than shorter depending on what sleeves I'm wearing.
It does actually. You might want to wear it over a blouse or something, or over a jumper, and there's nothing stopping you manipulating the hook if you want to have it a little bit tighter. It's entirely up to you. But think about J hooks like this with the sterling silver. They're great for something with weight, because if you think about the physics of this actually pulling down on a piece around your neckline or around the wrist line, then obviously it's going to be really secure, the actual weight there itself. I'm holding it in tweezers and I pulled it out of the tweezers then, but yeah, if you literally have that weight that you can imagine coming from all of the chainmail jump rings or the gemstones that you might have invested. Beautiful clasp.
It is.
Really
nice
pretty.
Front of a necklace as well.
Yeah.
Really nice at the front. So even if you're doing your pearl knotting, you want your clasp at the front. Really beautiful clasp that is.
I'm imagining quite I wonder if this, like a chainmail lariat style, you know? So you could almost put it like a bib across. Yeah. Like you would a pashmina scarf, I suppose. Actually put it across the front of the body. Have to bring that price tag in for you, so you can see there's average 0.8 grams of sterling silver, should be £6.95. However, £6.95 for sterling silver. A cheeky fiver. It's a cheeky fiver for a lovely class like this. I love the jump rings too. I mean, I think this is really pretty like this. Go hold it up. Position it on the end of my tweezers. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that nice?
It's been well thought of, because it's in that beautiful teardrop. It's elongated, so it sits so beautifully within the piece. You haven't got a really large round jump ring. You've got a nice tapered. Yeah. So it tapers down to a beautiful point. Yeah,
like you said, well thought out actually. And the beauty of actually having a pear cut or an oval cut jump ring as well, if I can pick this up without it disappearing under my fingernails. There we go. Is that it'll also hold. We had this scenario earlier on, Maggie, Fleur, didn't we, where a piece of jewellery was the design itself wasn't facing forward. If you'd have had an oval jump ring or a jump ring of this shape, you wouldn't have had that problem, because it will naturally turn in the right direction. So yeah, very well thought out. Lots of you choosing to multi-buy. In fact, pretty much everybody has. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. Congratulations to each and every single one of you. Got to move on. All of these jump rings, these ones, the big ones, These, I don't call these jump rings, I call these features. These are features to me. And I mean that in the greatest possible, with respect to jump rings. I love a jump ring and I love chainmail, don't get me wrong, but to me these are absolute pendants. I think they look gorgeous pendants, and you're getting loads. Look at all this. Loads and loads and loads, and they're so beautifully embellished, I suppose. I'll just hold a few of them up. Aren't they gorgeous? These are rings as well, aren't they? Yeah. Perfect midi rings.
Midi rings, perfect earrings if you like your hoop earrings. If you just take a shepherd's hook and just pop one onto a shepherd's hook, they're really elegant.
They're lovely, aren't they? Just really like so. Nice. I like that idea of just on shepherd hook earrings. That's all you need.
Yeah, I took some of these kind of jump rings last Sunday and did a resin show, and we filled them with resin as well.
So you use it as a bail?
Yeah, so we used it as a bezel, yeah.
Sorry, as a bezel, yeah, rather, that's what I meant. So you could actually create, I don't know, a keepsake internally, couldn't you? Beautiful lustre. As you can see, there's a twisted section. If I actually just take them, leave it down to the one so you can actually see the design a bit better. So you've got a twisted section and also a flat section, and it's basically corkscrewed around one another to bring you this beautiful wreath-like design. 50 in total you're getting, and they measure 20 millimeters. So yes, you can use these with your chainmail.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could. We showed how to saw cut one of these as well on Sunday. So how to actually open one up with your saw, but you can use your flush cutters as well. But for me, these would be great to chainmail too, and then have it as the centre section. Yeah. And I'm just thinking maybe the abalone would fit. I don't know if it would fit in the middle of one. You
could probably manipulate it around. Yeah, it's probably not too far, because that was about 20 millimeters in size, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you can use them to frame your gemstones as well.
Yeah, I like that idea. Actually using it as a bezel setting would be just stunning. I agree. I agree with that. Beautiful. 50 of them in total, so there's multiple uses, and there's certainly multiples of them. Should be. Are we going straight down? We're going to go straight down because there are loads of you there. £12.95. I mean, you'd pay that for one in most fashion shops, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
You would? For genuine copper with silver plating over the top. In fact, you'd probably pay that for a base metal piece of jewellery.
Yep.
I love these. I think they're so lovely. And I think you could just make a piece, a neckline piece, a necklace, if you were to flush cut at them or use your saw cutters, and then just reattach one to one.
Yeah. They make great handbag straps, they make great belts. If you didn't want to cut these, you could use your normal jump rings to connect them together. So use your smaller jump rings to connect them together. I know we've recently been doing some beautiful pattern ones that are cut, like the Greek style and the Moroccan style, they're all cut open. So you could actually link them all together with those and create bits of, like you say, handbag straps around your shoes.
Oh yeah. All around the stiletto heel, that would be... Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice. Jimmy.
Very nice.
Very Jimmy. Yes. One day I shall own a pair of Jimmies.
Oh, I owned a pair and the heel snapped on them.
Oh, okay, disappointing. All right then, I shan't aspire to that anymore.
No, don't have those ones. Have a different one.
Shan't aspire to those with the heel snaps. Okay, got to move on. Well done. Stay on those phone lines. Absolutely incredible. Lots of jump rings, by the way. If you love your chainmail, this is the perfect show for you. Moving on to. We said about using those and then a slightly smaller jump ring in between. These are very limited. So now you can cut these as well. They are textured, very Italian chic, kind of mottled, and you can almost feel it. Slightly smaller size. So again, perfect for little pinky rings. And you're getting 50 in total. Yeah, these with any of the coloured jump rings would be beautiful, wouldn't they?
Because these are open, so you can just open and close these and use them to connect those larger ones together.
And they are. Do you know what? They're so precision cut. I can't even see that.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I had to double check you there, so I doubted you then, Fleur. I confess, I doubted you.
That's all right.
I can't even see it now. Can you? Let's take these out. Let's inspect. Right. Where? We're under magnification, don't forget.
I think it's just where your pliers are.
Oh, it is just where the pliers are. Can you see that?
It's very, very faint black line that you can see.
Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There?
You just give it a little...
I tell you what you do. God, these are... Oh, it's at the bottom. Oh, there.
There it is.
That's how precision cut they are, that we had to hunt for them. Quality. Now, for those people that don't know, why is that important?
So when you cut a jump ring, we want it to go back into a perfect circle so that it keeps the formation of that lovely shape. The more metal you take out, the less likely it will go back together as a perfect circle. These are so precision cut that the blade that's used is so fine, you can't see where the cut is when you get there.
You need to use your tools rather than your eyes.
But also as well, it's really great then, because if you've got a pattern that says add in a closed jump ring, you can just add one in. Like
yes, use it as a closed jump ring. Lots to do there. We have to bring that price tag in for you. £9.95 for 50 of them in total. Absolute precision cutting, which normally you do pay for. You know, that's something that you would have to be more of an investment jump ring, isn't it?
Yeah, I've cut thousands of jump rings and I've never been able to cut them with that much precision.
No, I think it would probably be, well, pretty impossible, really, unless you've got all the heavy-duty machinery. Okay, let's move on. Shall I bring you the gold version? Oh, can you imagine this as a combination? The silver with these lovely yellow gold. So these are slightly smaller, so different sizes. Now, the different sizes of jump rings, Fleur, we can still use?
Yep. So certain weaves you need, certain weaves won't work with certain smaller jump rings or larger jump rings. So whenever you see different jump ring sizes, I always say if you can afford to get them, if you are into your chainmail, the more sizes you own, the better. Because then if you see a weave that you like, chances are you've got the jump rings then that you can
actually play with it. And like I said, it's not just chainmail, you can use it for anything. Again, these are precision cut open jump rings. You've got 100 here. Gosh, this is kind of as you imagine, you know, treasure to be, isn't it? All the luster and the shine. They're gorgeous, aren't they? I love these. Shall I pop some on a jump ring so you can on the tweezers rather, so you can actually see? Jump rings on the brain, Fleur. Less than 40 of these in stock. I'm going to have to bring that price tag in for you. £9.95 and you've got 100. So just to recap, for the benefit of those of you that have had a little bit of a lie-in this Saturday morning, oh gosh, we are jealous. Fleur and I were up at the crack of dawn. In fact, we all were, weren't we? All of us. Maggie, what time are you up, honey? Because you've got to travel.
I pushed it. I left it till 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
It'll be 4:30 tomorrow.
4:30 tomorrow. And you've got to travel an hour.
Yeah.
That was pushing it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But she made it. She made it here on time. Yeah, I got up 4:30. Going to sell out? I think so. Yeah. Well done. Shall I bring you the rose gold version? Oh, that trio of trio. Sounds like a breakfast cereal, doesn't it? That trio. Sorry. That trio of tones just works incredibly, and has been around for so long. Russian style wedding bands, Cartier use it. Pretty much every single jeweller's will have that combination of colours. These have also got a slightly different pattern, I suppose. So the last two were a little bit more mottled and textured, I suppose. These have got a very fine twist. Can you see that? 100 in total, coming your way at the lowest price. I don't know. Now, they have been reduced to this price point and we're honouring it. Don't know why. We £7.95. Okay, because it was within 30 days, we have to honour that price point for you, and we will, absolutely. Just to recap, Fleur, how many do we need for a Mobius ring?
3.
As a minimum. How many do we need for a Byzantine?
For a full Byzantine bracelet, about 120 to 150, depending on the length that you want.
So you can make almost a Byzantine bracelet out of this?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
How many do you need for your crosses that you've got in this next demonstration?
About 60.
So you can make one of those. £7.95. There's a lot of jump rings in this show, so fantastic. And we've got the new, beautiful new gunmetal colour coming up in the next kit. Hello to you, Francis, Samantha, Sue. Hello to you, Maxine, Judith, London, Tennessee. Nice to be with you. Patricia, Anne, Anita, Fiona, Kathy, Angela, Buckinghamshire. Lots of you choosing to multi-buy, as you always do, and I don't blame you. It's going to be a sellout. Now, at the top of the hour, just after the break, we've got a trio of diamonds opportunity. And can I just say, this isn't just any... Gosh, I can't believe I'm going to say this sentence, but it's not just any diamond opportunity. The rarest colour in its natural form of diamonds is green. I've got a strand of green diamonds coming out, which is just amazing. So I'm really, really excited to show you that. Plus your silver diamonds, plus your black diamonds. And I launched these. I can remember them being launched. Huge honour, huge privilege. This is coming up at the top of the hour. So if you've always wanted to own diamonds, and more importantly, you want to own a big carat weight of some of the rarest colours, then this is coming up just after 9 a.m. So make sure you do stay tuned. I've also got AA graded, amazing opal, absolutely incredible quality opal. I'll show you this as well, because tell you what, I was talking to Bella. Bella's actually come from a very well-known, very reputable, but very prestigious department store in London, and she's part of our buying team now. And she was talking to her about the quality of our opal and just how how much agreement I am with her about the grading of our opal. I'm going to put this like so you don't have to look at the back of my fingernails. The reason why we're grading our Ethiopian opal is because of the quality. It does literally command that. I mean, this is amazing. AA grade, so some of the finest that we could possibly offer you. Coming up, when we're doing this, Kimbo? 11 a.m. Just amazing. For those of you that have just tuned in, those of you that maybe missed out, we did have a sterling silver opportunity first thing this morning of jump rings. They are the only sterling silver jump rings that we've got. $7.95 for genuine sterling silver. You know, not coated. We're not talking about an overlay. This is genuine, solid sterling silver. So lots of people multi-buying. Grab it whilst you can. Absolutely. Now we have got designer inspiration with the wonderful Fleur. Steampunk designs. Don't forget, it is our steampunk weekend. And for that steampunk, we have that titanium colour, which is quite newly launched. So don't go anywhere. I hope you'll join us for inspiration after this.
Did you know that Jewellery Maker's phone number is free from a UK landline? Now you can spend those extra pennies on more shopping.
Are you new to jewellery making? Not sure where to start? Then head over to our website and check out our Get Started page. Watch the welcome message from presenter Carol and find out all about Jewellery Maker. Watch one of our easy to follow tutorials where our guest designers will teach you the basics and give you the confidence to start making earrings, bracelets and necklaces. If you prefer to simply have a go, then check out our starter kits. They contain everything you need, including instructions, tools, gemstones and clasps, allowing you to create your very first jewellery pieces. You can either watch the video tutorial or follow the step-by-step instructions to give you plenty of inspiration. We also have an array of beginners workshops that you can attend here at our studios and join our experienced designers and get a taste for this fabulous hobby. We will guide you through the basics to get you started making your own beautiful jewellery. Everyone is welcome in the jewellery making family, so start your jewellery making journey today.
Did you know no matter how many times you purchase with Jewellery Maker in the same day, you'll only be charged one fee of postage and packaging? Select our standard delivery for just $2.95, or if you'd like to receive your goods sooner, upgrade to our premium option for $4.95.
We are live every day from 8 AM to 9 PM. So come and join in and get creating with Jewellery Maker.
If for any reason you're not satisfied with your purchase, you have the benefit of our no quibble 30-day money-back guarantee. Just complete the returns form enclosed with your goods and send them back for a full refund.
Roll up and join Jewellery Maker this Saturday and Sunday for our steampunk weekend. Our talented designers will be giving you lots of inspiration on how to create some incredible pieces, combining vintage, fantasy fun, imagination, gadgetry and science fiction. The Jewellery Maker Steampunk Weekend. Don't miss it.
Fancy diamonds, as they are referred to when a diamond has colour, gemologically speaking, have absolutely erupted in the market. Now, this is a very limited edition star buy opportunity. We only have a few available opportunities, and I don't want to be, I don't know, to skirt over the fact that I have got black diamonds and silver diamonds here, but I have to focus on the green. The rarest natural colour of fancy diamonds is green, and what we look for of all your fancy colours, whether they be blue, whether they be red, whether they be yellow, whether they be green, is an openness of colour. Now, so often diamonds can be so dark or an intense in those elements that have discovered or influenced that gemstone, that diamond, to that colour, that it becomes almost like borderline black, basically. So you can't actually pick out the intensities of the greens. So you want an openness of colour. You also want that openness so you can benefit from the beauty of the scintillation, the lustre, the fire, which you obviously are not going to be sacrificing just because they're fancy diamonds. You're going to get all of the above, the same sort of benefits that you get with the colourless diamonds, only obviously with that gorgeous colour. The rarest natural colour of diamonds is green. Now you tell me undeniably what colour you're seeing here. It's not so dark, it's not closed that you're not seeing the scintillation, the presence, the lustre, the sparkle, the paparazzi flash, and you're having to go, okay, yeah, there's a greenish tone about those. No, these have got that beautiful, beautiful green diamond tone. Straight away there's collectors in London and Surrey on the web. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. You've got in total 30 carats, so 10 carats of green diamonds, 10 carats of your black diamonds, 10 carats of your gorgeous silver as well, faceted by Mother Nature, so you've got those gorgeous gorgeous angles, the sparkle, which is again is always added to when you've got I suppose texture across the surface of any other gemstone. Massively on trend right now with all of the big celebrities and the Hollywood A-listers. But what you're about to achieve, the star of the show in my eyes right now, has to be that green diamond strand. I can remember once upon a time actually offering a customer a green diamond, and it was made up of lots and lots of individual diamonds as well, in gold, granted. It was 18 karat gold, cluster ring. It was over £2,000, and that was an amazing deal. And I don't recall them actually being as open, as bright as what you've got on your screens. Valerie, I tell you what, you're going to love these, my lovely, when you get them home. Christine, same, likewise. Those of you that are on those phone lines waiting and hesitating, I understand. We're going to have to go straight down because these are a limited opportunity. You are getting all three. You haven't got to choose between the one or the other. You're getting all three of those colours. 30 carats of genuine diamonds, not laboratory created, not synthetic, not not plastic, not cubic zirconias. Absolutely not. These should be $59.95, and they absolutely should. That's less than £20 for 10 carats of diamonds. Today, star by price. Get it whilst you can. Last in stock opportunities. I'd pay that for the green diamonds alone.
I was just about to say, the green diamonds, that's what I would pay for.
Yeah.
That price for those green diamonds.
And in excess of that, to be honest, because you know, sometimes if you've ever seen green diamonds elsewhere, and it would be, you know, your Hatton Gardens, your Bond Street, those kind of establishments, you know, you'd expect that to be a really considered price to buy diamonds, green diamonds more to the point. They're not seen on the everyday market. They're not seen on a high street, if you like, your average Joe Broggs jewellers. They are, without shadow of a doubt, more one of the ultimate investments in terms of the diamond. And today you're getting it for what's working out about £16 per strand. Per strand, £16.
Yeah. I'm part of a few of the Facebook groups that are for silversmiths and jewellers that deal with gold and silver and platinum, and near enough every other post is asking, where can I get rough diamonds from? So obviously they're huge in the precious metal market of jewellery as well, so people are setting them into platinum and into gold, as well as sterling silver. So they're huge at the moment. Everybody wants to work with diamonds.
Oh, I was looking online a few months back at sort of rough diamonds, and I'd encourage you to do this as well. Just enter into your search engine site rough diamonds, or celebrities wearing rough diamonds, and you'll see some incredible pieces. Alicia Keys, I don't know if you know who she is. Rihanna, lots of Hollywood A-listers are all wearing them at the moment, and you can imagine the price tags that are attached to those as well. You can absolutely imagine. Yes, so of course we follow them, don't we? We do follow their fashion senses, I suppose, because we kind of aspire. Well, you might not, but aspire to, you know, what they have, I guess. Well done. Looking like it could be a sellout. Very limited opportunity. I'd be more than happy to pay that for just one of these diamond strands, let alone all three. 30 carats. Can you imagine? Can you imagine commissioning a piece of jewellery, hopefully for you, I hope it is for you, or one of your loved ones, with the rarity and the beauty of prestigious coloured diamonds here, or fancy diamonds. Amazing. I need to move on because we have more jump rings. More jump rings. Oh, I don't want to part with them, Fleur.
They are stunning.
Aren't they? Because they're not dark, you know, they're not almost bordering on black diamonds, you know, they have got that real green. It's just incredible, absolutely incredible. Now, okay, jump rings. We've got the gorgeous Fleur here in the studios. Comes with these lovely handy containers, and they are handy, aren't they? Even after you've used your jump rings, you'll find a use for these, even if it's in your kitchen rather than in your workshop. You do find a spot for them, don't you?
Definitely.
My spice cupboard needs organising.
These would be great once you've used your jump rings.
Yes.
This would be a great.
I need these for my spices because they keep throwing themselves at me as I open the. Oh no! Maggie said she was attacked by lentils the other day. Everywhere.
In the coffee machine.
In the coffee machine. Oh no! Red lentils everywhere. It has to be why is it as well that when you spill something, it can't be something that just goes into one area. Oh no! It has to be something that spreads itself around. Yeah. Those lentils, you can bet your bottom dollar, they did the 5 pence trick, didn't they? You know, when you drop a 50p just goes dunk. Yeah, you can pick it up. 5p's and your red lentils, no, they spin around on their sides, they do pirouettes and they spiral over to one area. So you're like, trying to catch it. Yeah, your lentils would have done that too.
If it had been in a sealed container.
If it had been in a sealed container like this.
It would be friends.
I'm sorry, we've totally gone off on a tangent. Are we all picturing pirouetting lentils right now? They do. That's the thing. They don't just go into one area. They go into their ballerina style Dance moves.
I even went in the butter dish.
In the butter dish. Oh no. So when you're eating your toast, you like this? Spitting out your red lentils. Anyway, back to the jump rings. You won't have that issue because you've got a lovely container, a storage box to hold them in place. These are all open jump rings, 16mm in size, and you've got the yellow, silver, rose, and also your copper colour as well. In total, approximately 160 jump rings. So that's a good Byzantine bracelet straight away. Straight away, instantaneous. Or if you like to make your big statement pieces of jewellery, we've got some incredible inspiration with Fleur for the steampunk weekend that we are in the middle of. These would be fabulous for that as well. You know, you've got the combination of the colours. Should be $29.95. Not $29.95? How about we bring you a crisp orange note back in your pocket? $19.95. $19.95. You thought I was going back into my foodstuffs again then, didn't you? They'd pirouette. Yes, definitely. $19.95 only for these beautiful jump rings, and they're the plain jump rings as well. So you've had quite embellished and textured ones earlier on. So these would be great to maybe pad out, I suppose, the patterned jump rings.
Definitely, but for me, what these are absolutely brilliant for is if you're wanting to learn chainmail, and you see that I always use my big, large coloured jump rings, because you've got 4 different colours within there, and they're large jump rings, you can use these as your practice jump rings. So this can be your practice set, all in its own little box already. And I had these as a challenge once, and I did take one and I opened and closed it 50 times, and it didn't mark, and it didn't break, and it didn't alter or distort. So
the actual plating itself
is brilliant. Yeah,
is really, really, really secure.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea, actually, using these, because there are so many weaves of chainmail, isn't there?
And you know, I have these that I bring on to the show to demo with, but at home I've got some that are about that size that I learn new weaves with, because the larger the jump ring, the easier it is to see where the weave's going. And yeah, sometimes it won't hold together because it's the wrong size, but you get the gist of where each jump ring's going to go.
Where to position them.
And then you can just undo it all, pop it back in its box, and just then get your correct size jump rings and do it in the correct size.
Amazing. Yeah, good. Top idea. I think that's a great idea. So until you've mastered it. Stay where you are though. Price reduction for your steampunk, and of course because we have got the queen of chainmail. Now let's get into your first kit of the day. I'm really excited, uber excited. How many have we got of these, Kimbo? The jump rings. Oh, is there less than 100? You're going to want to multi-buy. We've deliberately separated this kit, 91, there we go, this kit into 2 parts. The jump rings. Hey? What? Hang on a second, they've put the gemstones in as well. Okay, it was initially in 2 parts. And they thought, no, I tell you what, let's put the gemstones in inclusive. Win. That's a massive win for you. Do you know what? There are so many jump rings here. Lovely Claire, my director, said, I had to sort them yesterday. I know. Should be price of your kit straight away in. Already lots of you are there. In total, I've got, oh gosh, 200 of the black jump rings in the 7mm, 200 of the 6mm in the black, 200 of the 5mm in the black, and then on the gold you've got 200 of the 5, 200 of the 6, in the silver 200 of the 5, 200 of the 6, in total 1,400 jump rings with that lovely black colour, titanium like. Shall I show you, I don't know, a few of each? I'll just pick up, shall I pick up the same size of each? 3 of each of them, shall I? I'll be very specific. Is that the same size? No. Oh, I dropped one. I tell you what, I'm not going to count them. I'm just going to put as many as I can on. Otherwise, I'm going to be here all day, aren't I? I don't want to do that. So you've got a mixture of the 3 tones. 91 of these, and I've got gemstones to bring you as well, folks. I'm just focusing on the jump rings right now. So there is a combination of the sizes and the colours that you actually get. 1,400 jump rings in total. Look at that for a combination. And Fleur's inspiration will be capitalising on the fact that you've got those 3 different tones as well. Should be £46.55 for 1,400 jump rings, but genuine gemstones as well. And those gemstones are 155 carats of your beautiful agate, and also your deep purple shell rounds, which are 8mm in their measurements and in their size. We really could do with a quantity of about 200 plus, to be honest, because jump rings always sell out, not just because chainmail is such an infectious medium and type of jewellery making, but also because they are absolute necessities, especially in the new colours like this. What a joy to be able to bring it to you at such an important weekend, but also being able to bring it to you at this price point, because I know it's going low. Okay, first come, first serve. For 1,400 jump rings, that's going to keep you in your chainmail designs for a very, very, very long time. And your black agate and your shell pearls. Lots of you are choosing to buy not just 1, but 3. And the reality is, Fleur, I know that you'd be multi-buying as well.
Definitely. I'd be definitely multi-buying. For that amount of jump rings, that is an amazing quantity.
It is, and you're getting the gemstones for free, really.
Yeah, well, you are, definitely. You're getting half the jump rings for free as
well.
Yeah.
Lots of people choosing to buy 3s, and I'm not surprised by that at all, especially with that black colour.
Yeah.
Because it's still quite new to us here at Jewellery Maker, isn't it?
It is, and we also have the wire that corresponds with it as well. So we've got that beautiful black stroke gunmetal grey wire as well. So you can use your wires. If you're into your wire work pendants as well, you can use that. You know, and it's the perfect matching to make your findings.
So with the black wire or something like Claire was just saying to me, actually, it was on yesterday's show. So yeah, beautiful. And you've made your infamous turquoise chainmail necklace, kind of bib style. You've made something using all these 3 colours, which looks absolutely beautiful. I also love the actual crosses with these as well. Chainmail is loved by ladies and gents.
It is. It goes across, like say, ladies and gents jewellery so easily. And we don't tend to have weaves for ladies and weaves for gents. You know, we have one weave will suit both, and it depends on the colours, the size of the jump ring. You know, if you make it a bit more chunkier, maybe that's more of a gents piece. If you make it, but the crosses that we're going to do in a moment, I mean, that is ladies or gents. That's.
I'm just thinking. I mean, you've got here 7mm, 6mm, and 5mm as well. So I'm thinking, you could easily do a his and hers piece of jewellery, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could do matching pieces of jewellery.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Yeah, really nice.
I tell you what I saw recently, and I forget what jeweller it was that actually that actually commissioned it. I've got an idea, but I don't want to say just in case. Anyway, and they're doing a his and her collection, and it is like a Cupid's bow, a bow and arrow, just on leather, a slightly larger one for the guy and a slightly smaller one for the girl. And I thought, what a lovely idea! That's a really nice idea. So you could do a sort of his and hers jewellery with your steampunk design, and of course with these 2 different colours, because they are wearable by everybody, I think. Actually, lots and lots of you there. How are we doing in terms of quantity, Kimbo? 40 remaining, so over half the stock has been allocated already. And if you like what Fleur you've just said, everybody's going to choose, well, not everybody, but most people will choose to multi-buy on the basis of it's such an amazing deal.
Yeah, definitely. And I've still got lots left. That's what I've got left from the kit.
So you can make a good bracelet out of that,
yeah, another bracelet, definitely, like we were just saying, if you wanted to make a lady's bracelet to go with the bracelet that's there, I could make a slimmer bracelet with the 5mm jump rings, because it's like, you can use those in that weave as well. But no, it's this kit is so brilliant because of those colours. You can do, because it's steampunk, and because steampunk, everybody thinks it's like watch cogs and like industrial. Steampunk's everything from Victoriana all the way. Yeah. You know, so anything that's industrial. So this is very more Victoriana's type of look, you know, with the purples and the black. Sometimes, you know, some people may think it's like gothic-y.
Yeah, the black could be a Gothic-y style piece, couldn't it?
Style pieces as well. But definitely, you know, don't think of, like I said, just steampunk as your watch cogs, because it can be very Victoriana.
I love those crosses. They're absolutely amazing, especially in that black.
Yeah, they're just so striking.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, you know, on one of those crosses on a 32-inch chain.
Yeah.
Fab.
Yeah, or equally put it on a leather cord for a gent.
Yeah,
you know,
love
leather
it.
cords would be perfect for them as well.
Love it, love it, love it. Just down to the final 27. Just to recap, 1,400 jump rings in various different sizes in 3 different colours. Plus, you're getting the shell pearl 8mm rounds and the black agate as well, which is just incredible. You could rosary link those gemstones and then have that cross at the bottom.
Yeah.
Fab.
That's what I was going to do, but I wanted to have this big statement in the middle of sort of like a big ruffle of chainmail as well.
Love it. Is like a bustle, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, so what is it that you're going to be demonstrating,
so
darling?
we're going to do the cross. We're going to show how to do the cross, and it is on the pendants DVD as well. So if you've got a little bit stuck on the pendants DVD, hopefully, you know, if you've got any questions about it, if you can message in, and we might be able to answer them. You know, if you've got stuck in and you don't know where to go from there.
We have got that DVD coming up a little bit later on, so you could be watching it for the first time. If you're anything like me, I don't digest it just with one watch. I don't. I have to be told and told and told and told. So watch now. The DVD is actually coming up a little bit later on. If you've got any text messages for Fleur, by the way, we'd love to hear from you. Text us live here into the studio, 60777. Start your text with JM Studio. Any questions or any comments, or you just want to say hi, which are either or. Text us into the studios. Very simple to do so, and we'd love to hear from you. Fabulous.
Okay, so the actual cross itself is made from the full Persian weave. So we're going to start off by just showing you how to make the full Persian, because that's in essence the main body of the cross piece. It does have a little section of box weave in there as well, but we'll get to that when we get to construct the actual cross. So to start the full Persian weave, what I've done is we only can do the full Persian weave in the 7mm jump rings that we sell here. So we need an inner diameter of 5mm, outer diameter of 7mm.
Now that's something which might not be obvious to new jewellery makers and new chainmailers, because it didn't digest with me for a while. Yeah. Exterior circumference,
so
interior.
So we always say the outer diameter. When we do jump rings here at Jewellery Maker, we do the outer diameter. But because most of our jump rings are plain jump rings, so that's not the patterned ones, but the plain ones are made on a 1mm wire. So you can take 1mm off either side to create the inner diameter.
Okay.
So if you've got a 7mm outer diameter jump ring, take 2mm off, because you've got 1mm wire on either side, you get a 5mm inner diameter.
Makes sense.
If you're looking at other patterns and that, and it's in the inner diameter, just that's how you have to work it out from the Jewellery Maker jump rings.
It's fun, and you were saying you're not mathematical or anything like that.
I can take 2 away from 7.
That's true. When you say it like that, you know, because Maggie and I are going, sometimes the chainmail is very complex, but actually maybe it's just my simple brain.
Sometimes it can, because sometimes we do like 3.4mm jump rings. Because we do whole sizes here, it's so much easier. You just take the 2 away.
No, I have got quite a simple brain, you know, and sometimes when you think about it's true, I have. Whenever I start talking about problems, straight away, I've got one of those minds that just goes chunk.
Closes down.
Chunk. I can't do maths, I can't do numbers. Chunk closes down, and I almost go into it. I'm nervous about this. So, but when it is very simple actually.
If anybody's new to chainmail and never tried it before, if you're into your knitting, sewing, crochet, anything that follows a pattern, this is exactly the same, because it follows a pattern. It's a repetition.
Methodical.
Yeah, that's all it is. Once you've got the first few rows in, if you like, it's just the same pattern over and over again. So by the end of your piece, it's ingrained in your brain. Okay, so there we go. I'll stop talking because I want to know how to learn this amazing cross. What I've done is I've taken 4 closed jump rings and popped them onto 2 open jump rings, and then I've just added a little tiny bit of wire there just to use as a handle. So I've got 2 jump rings and then 4 jump rings. Okay. So now, for the rest of the time, now we need all of our jump rings open. Now, chainmail works the best if you have everything pre-opened or pre-closed, so that it's quicker, so that pattern doesn't come out of your brain. Okay, so I've now got 4 jump rings there. So I'm going to take my first pair of jump rings. Now, full Persian goes between portrait jump rings, which are these ones, the pink ones, and landscape jump rings, which are the red ones. So 2 are horizontal, 4 are vertical. And I say portrait and landscape because that works in my head rather than vertical and horizontal. Can't get
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, 100%.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first horizontal or landscape jump ring. So this one's going to stay flat, and the way that we're going to add this jump ring in is we're going to pick up number 1 jump ring. We're going to miss out number 2 and number 3, and we're going to go to number 4
Straight
jump ring.
to number 4.
So I've got 1 and 4. Now with my index finger, I'm just going to push forward number 2 and number 3. Now this is the most difficult part when you're very first starting. Once you've got the first one in, it's no problem. So I've got number 1 and number 4. I'm then going to go down and pick up number 3 and number 2. Okay, and close. So I'll hold that up so you can see.
Again, don't worry if you're not digesting this. We
No.
have got the DVD which includes this coming up.
So you can see the formation that ring's gone in. So I've gone through number 1, number 4, number 3, and then number 2. So if you think 1, 4, 3, 2, okay?
1, 4, 3, 2.
It's a bit like line dancing. We'll get there.
Yeah,
okay?
what do you think about that? See, that's how my simple brain will
that's it.
retain information.
That's it, however you remember it. Some people remember it as patterns, some people remember it as numbers. A bit like Kumihimo. Some people can use the numbers on the board, some people can't. So now I've got my first jump ring in, so that's on the bottom there. I've now turned my work over and I need to put one in on the top. Okay, but now can you see that the number 2 and the number 3 jump ring are already pushed forward into that formation, so you can actually see where it needs to go. I need to go through number 1, number 4, and then through number 2 and number 3. Okay, so once that first jump ring's in place, you can see where it needs to go. If I hold that up, you can then see it's starting to create that V pattern.
Now Claire, my director, has literally just said exactly the same words that you did, Fleur, then.
Yeah.
Once you get that first jump ring in place.
Once you get the first one in place, and what I say, it's the same with all chainmail weaves that you do, make a little bit longer than you need and take off an inch and have that as your starter chain. It will help you remember what the pattern is and put a little tag on it saying full Persian, and then you can see, and it's easier then to start from a piece of chainmail rather than starting from scratch.
Okay.
Okay, so now I've got my first jump rings in place. So now I always need 4 portrait jump rings to be able to move on. So I've only got 2 portrait jump rings there, so I'm going to add another 2 portrait jump rings in onto those landscape jump rings. Okay?
Right.
So you never add a landscape to a landscape or a portrait to a portrait.
In any of the weaves?
No, just in this full Persian.
Okay.
And this, so if you're doing it in colours, so the pink jump ring will never attach to a pink jump ring, it'll always attach to the red jump ring in this formation, which is why that box of jump rings is so brilliant, because you can then do it in the 2 colours while you're learning.
Yeah.
And you can then, you'll never
absolutely.
attach the 2 colours, so they never attach the same colour to the same colour. And that is the same for all the Persian weaves. So now I've got 4 portrait rings left. So I've added those 2 in, so I've got my 2 there and my 2 here. So I'm now going to do exactly the same. So they're still numbered the same, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I take my next open jump ring, which is going to be my landscape jump ring. I'm going to go through number 1, number 4, and down through number 2 and number 3. So it stays flat. If you think of it as a flat jump ring, it'll stay flat, and you're not going to make it vertical. It's got to stay horizontal. And if I just lift that one up now, you'll be able to see
how it's progressing.
So you can see now where the pattern's starting to form. But if I turn it onto the side, can you see now that I've got a V missing here?
Yeah.
So I know that I've done this side, so to complete that little section,
you need to do
I've
the
got
other.
to do the same on the opposite side. So if ever you get lost, just lift it up in front of you and you'll be able to see where that V formation is.
Now, just before we go any further, Fleur, because the kit has actually sold out entirely, not surprised in the slightest by that, we've got more jump rings, and we've got a lot of jump rings to squeeze in, so this is going to sell out. First come, first serve. We've got 167. I'm being very specific on the quantities just to give everybody a fair chance. They're your bare copper. Now, bare copper you can oxidise, can't you?
Yeah,
you can add colour to, you can leave them as they are, of course. There's 200 in this pack, and they're 9mm, so perfect.
Yeah, you can do the full Persian with this. It's a little bit looser, but you can do the full Persian with this weave. You can do the weave that we're going to do in the next kit as well with this weave, absolutely brilliantly. So you can do all the half Persians, the full Persian.
With these jump rings that we're bringing here, so absolutely incredible. So busy, there's a lot of, Fleur, you've got a massive following, and rightly so. You are really addictive to watch as well. I mean, chainmail is something that I'm always engrossed in. And it's so easy to follow when you look at tuitions like this. But again, we have got DVDs coming up. Get your jump rings whilst you can, though, because they always sell out, especially the bare copper and the silvers and things, you know, the blacks and the unusual ones. They tend to sell out first. 167 is not a massive quantity. I'm going to pop some of these onto the tweezers for you. Now, again, these are open jump rings, so precision cut.
Yep.
So precision cut, so you've got that real uniformity, that full 360 degree, which when it comes to chainmail is a necessity, isn't it?
It is. If you've got one closure that's got what we call a burr, so a little section of metal sticking up, it's scratchy, it's going to catch on your skin,
and it
could pull apart, you know, it's going to show. You want it to be as perfect as you can. Wow, is that the price?
$5.95 for 200.
Do you know, since we got this size, because this size is a relatively new size, it opens up over 100 weaves.
Really?
Yeah, because we need this size to add into some of the more complex weaves as well. So if you go onto the Maille Artisans website, which is the artisan committee for chainmail, and you can put in 9mm, well, these are 7mm inner diameter. If you put that into the website.
So if for those of you that are new thinking weaves, there are that many, aren't there?
Oh, there's over 1,000, yeah, there's over 1,000 chainmail weaves. A lot of them are just one jump ring's slightly different, and then it's called a different weave as well. So there's lots of variations, but there is over 1,000 named.
There we go. So you need the different, like you said earlier on, Fleur. Get them whilst you can, because you don't want to be thinking, oh, I'm going to learn this one and not have the right jump ring for it.
Definitely.
Especially at $5.95.
Yeah, and because these are the bare copper, you can colour bare copper so easily.
Yeah, and you do that with?
You can do it with liver of sulphur. You can do it with coffee. You can do it with
coffee.
Salts. Yeah, if you just get some black coffee and a little touch of liver of sulphur, you can make the most beautiful iridescent colours.
What does coffee do then to make it?
It reacts with the bare copper, because bare copper will naturally oxidise over time anyway. And if you wear a bare copper bracelet, sometimes you'll see that your skin's gone a little bit green or maybe black, where the oxidisation comes out of the metal. But we can progress that a little bit further, and we can colour it. We can colour it with heat, and I've done that in the second kit. I'm showing how to do a bit. But you can also pop it in a sealed container with a boiled egg, and that will make it.
My word!
Because it's sulphur.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Hence the smell. Sue in London, steampunk, chainmail, and Fleur. What's not to love? Totally agree. Totally agree with you there. Get them whilst you can, because we've, like I said, had 167. There's loads of you there. Fabulous for 200 at $5.95.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you now. So I've got to this stage. Now, again, this is where people get a little bit confused. So they get to this point and they can't go any further. You always got to remember that you need four portrait jump rings to be able to move on. And the portrait ones sit in between onto those landscape jump rings. So I know it's a lot of portrait and landscape, but it makes a lot of sense when you're actually making it, when you've got it in front of you and you're making it.
You'll digest it gradually, eventually, won't you?
You do, yeah, and you just keep going. If it goes wrong to start with, just keep going. You don't have to, you don't have to take it apart and think, oh, I can't do it. Just keep going, and the pattern will start to sort itself out. So just to finish this little section off here, so I've got my 4 portrait jump rings. I can now go in my landscape jump rings and pick up 1 and 4 and down through 2 and 3, and you can see as this is started to progress and get a little bit longer, these 2 jump rings are facing forward anyway, so the pattern, you can see where it needs to go. So the 2 that are already woven into the piece and the 2 loose. Pop that one in, and remember to turn your work over, and exactly the same on the other. So your 2 portrait that are already woven into the piece and the 2 loose. And when you hold it up, you'll get these nice little V formations, and if you do it in 2 different colours, you'll see the different colours on either side. So that's what it looks like in my large jump rings, and this is what it looks like when it's in the correct size jump rings. So you can see there, if I turn that round, you can see those lovely V formations. And we're now going to go on to show you how to make the cross.
The actual, I was going to say, how do we then go this way?
That way.
Now, just before we do, so hopefully you've digested everything that that Fleur is, I mean, your tuitions are so clear. And because obviously you can make this with multiple colours, can't you?
Definitely.
I've got less than 100 of these available, so 98 in total. You're getting 200 individual jump rings. Again, they are the precision cut jump rings in the yellow gold plated copper. These measure 5mm, so it's just going to make a slightly finer weave, isn't it?
Yeah, so with the 5mm jump rings, we can use these for the European 4-in-1, which is the bracelet that's there, and also the main body of that other bib style necklace. You can do the cross weave with these. So certain jump ring sizes can't be used, so you can't do a full Persian with these 5mm jump rings because there's not enough room inside to get 4 jump rings. So you've seen that it has to hold 4 jump rings in place. So each jump ring size has its own specific use for lots of different weaves. So this one is perfect for your European 4-in-1 and create a beautiful
Which is actually
weave.
one of the easier weaves.
Yes, so it's the one that's in the bracelet there, that's in the middle. It creates a really nice, it's the most historic weave. It's the one that armour was made from. The European armour was made from. So it's a very historic weave, but it's a really lovely weave because it doesn't take that many jump rings to create it.
No, but yet covers a good surface area as well, doesn't it? So, yeah, fabulous, isn't it? And yeah, steeped in history, by the way, your chainmail, hence why it is so infectious, I suppose, because you're learning about history through it as well. And not just European history, Persian history, Japanese.
Yeah, then these, we've got another, there's a modern, what we call the modern family as well. So, but they're all based on the historic weaves.
And they've got funny names, those, haven't they?
Yeah, some of them have got really funny names. Yeah, like Rhino Snorting Drano. That's one weave name. Yeah, they've got some really weird ones. Yeah.
If I came up with a weave, I'd name it something silly as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, Claire's saying, what would you call it? I don't know. That's put me on the spot. It'd have to be good.
My favourite one's the orcs. You like from the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
The orc weave.
Oh, I don't think beauty though when I think of orcs.
No, it's not. It's not a beautiful, nice, feminine weave. It is quite masculine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Now you've got a limited quantity, so I need to bring that price tag in. £4.95 only.
The chains that are on the side of that necklace there, you know, the necklace that's closest to you, they're all just 1-in-1 chains. So that's just linking one jump ring into one jump ring.
Which is a style of chainmail.
As soon as everybody says that that can't be chainmail, linking one jump ring to another jump ring, but that is all chainmail means. It means linking ring into ring. So it is just linking those jump rings together. So 1-into-1 is still chainmail, and that creates a really. So if you wanted to make a full handmade chain for your pendant, these would be perfect because that's what it creates, that size.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, look how professional this is. It's like a classic Belcher chain, really.
Yeah, it is.
Classic Belcher chain.
Yeah.
And again, you could use these just as like you've got with your bracelets. Use them as little spacers.
Yeah, pop them in as spacer beads as well. Spacers in your bracelets. That's no problem at all. They look lovely sat between your 6mm gemstones because they'll nestle in quite nicely then. They're gorgeous.
£4.95 only. Grab them whilst you can. There were just under 100 of these available. So thank you so much, Fleur, for again allowing us to bring these. But again, for those of you that are on the web and on the phone lines, stay where you are because it's so busy today. Okay, so how do we then progress this cross
to have the arms of the cross? So you want to make your centre section of your cross as long as you want your cross. So that's all personal to you, how big you want this cross to be. Okay, but what we need to do then is, if I think that this is the top of my cross, so I've already got one of the arms in place here already, okay, so what I've done is I've come down 3 sections and I've added in just 1 jump ring onto the side. So all I've done is added that jump ring into the side there, so it's just gone through the 2 jump rings and I've added 1 onto the 4th section. So I've got 2 extra jump rings in place. So these are what are going to start the arm of the cross. Okay, so from those 2, I'm now going to add another 2 jump rings. And I'm going to do it in these correct sides, because with the large jump rings it won't hold together. So I've got 1 jump ring in place. So again, because we need 2 sets of jump rings, as we've seen already, to be able to start this weave. Now the difference with this cross is it's got what we call a box weave fold on it. So if you're used to seeing your Byzantine in your box weave, so what I've got now is that. So I've got my 2 jump rings and another 2 jump rings added in. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to fold back that second pair of jump rings and push them forward. So it's like a Byzantine knot. And then I'm going to add another 2 jump rings into the middle. So you can see there. Okay, so I'm going to take another 2 jump rings and add them in between that first 2. So what I've done is I've folded the first pair back and then pulled them back up through the second pair. Okay, so that's 1 jump ring in place. Sorry, it's usually when I chainmail it's right up to my nose.
Yeah, well that's it. Bless you, Fleur. Yeah, Fleur's obviously holding it in camera shot for her, so ever the professional.
What I've got now is I've now got my first set of jump rings. So if I just turn it that way, there you go. Can you now see I've now got back to where I was before with my 4 portrait rings. So I've got my 2 loose ones here and my 2 there. So I now go back to my full Persian.
Yes.
So that's the only bit that's different. Okay, so I'm going to take my jump ring and you'll see now what it looks like in the correct size. Now this bit, it's maybe the trickiest section just to get those first 2 back in. So you've got the 1 and the number 4 jump ring, and then down through number 2 and number 3. And once I've got this in place, you'll be able to see what I mean. So just balance it there and give that a little close, making sure that all your jump ring closures are perfect. So you can now see how that's now gone back into full Persian. So we've ignored this little section here. So I've now gone back into my full Persian there. So now what I do on one side, I do on the other. So I turn it over, exactly the same. I've got my 4 portrait rings. So I take my next jump ring.
You can also see as well, Fleur's using the bent nose pliers here, aren't you?
Yeah.
So when you start using, you know, your smaller gauge jump rings rather than the big ones, which obviously Fleur's been demonstrating with, the benefits of them.
Yeah.
Because they do, otherwise it'd be very, very fiddly. These are available on our website, so.
They are. These ones are great for this kind of intricate work. So now I've got my first section in place. So you can see there now, but it's not long enough. So what I do now is add another section in. So you're now going to make this section as long as you want. So what you preferably want to do is add another section of full Persian like I have here. So I've got 2 sections of full Persian and that first box weave fold back. So that folded back ring is just there over the top of my original piece. Now, if you need to make this a little bit more stable, if you don't like the way that that's quite loose on the end, all you need to do is add another portrait jump ring in. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do is just go through exactly the same route, and one side will be looser than the other. There we go. So I've just gone through exactly the same. So the 1 and the 4, and then down through the 2 and the 3. And this one is, because it's a lot smaller space to get it into. So if you just have a little, it's not going to go now because it's live telly, isn't it?
No, typically.
It's not going to work now. But if you persevere, you'll get that little jump ring through that gap there, and it will make it a lot more stable. So like I say, one side will work better than the other. So you just have a little, you have to keep sort of like messing about with it and see if you can get it through that gap. But it will go through that gap, and you're just going to pop that in there, and that will then make that cross a lot more stable on the side.
A lot more solid.
So you can see now how just putting that jump ring in there has made that a lot more solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you want to make this wonderful cross pendant that Fleur's making, and you prefer to start at your own pace, you want to get the jump rings home, etc., I've got the DVD, and I think it seems only right that we bring it in now, Fleur. So it is exactly this cross that you're making. 3 DVDs of chainmail as well with Fleur. Now, the first is your chainmail pendants, and you can see on the front pictured is this very, very cross that we're actually making. So if you think about this, approximately an hour long of tutorials here with Fleur, and you've got 6 different sections of the DVD. So you can stop and start it at your own pace. You know, no rush whatsoever. No. If there's a part you think, hang on a minute, I haven't quite got that, then you can just rewind it, you know, back and forth. That's the beauty. And of course, in this you've got 6 different types of pendants, so not just the cross that you see on the front, the full Persian cross. We've also got your chainmail European weaves, so you can see just how many different types of weaves there are with chainmail, as we said, thousands.
Yes.
Thousands of them. This is also with yourself, Fleur?
Yeah, this was mine, yeah. This is the first one I ever did.
First one you ever did. Yay! Love it. And again, approximately an hour, and you've got 6 different chapters there. Last but by no means least, you also have the Persian and Japanese weaves, which is also you.
Yep.
So you've got 3 hours of the lovely Fleur, 3 hours of the one, approximately anyway, of the lovely Fleur. This includes the full Persian, the half Persian 3-in-1, half Persian 4-in-1, Japanese flower, Japanese lace, Japanese lattice. So some beautiful weaves.
Yeah, really beautiful weaves. And using our 3 most popular sizes of jump rings, well, sorry, 4 most popular. So your 5mm, your 6mm, your 7mm, and your 9mm. So what we've brought today, basically, in the kit and the extras as well. So you can do all of these
sorted.
Yeah.
If you've got involved on the jump rings this morning, you're sorted. All you need is the DVD, and maybe invest. Would you suggest in some of the bent nose pliers as well?
Yeah.
Just to make it that little bit easier. Now should be £14.85. That's for 3 hours of tuition, without shadow of a doubt, one of the UK's most legendary chainmailers, and I truly believe that. £14.85 is our usual price. However, it is a steampunk weekend. We have got Fleur with us here, all her DVDs. This has been approved for you at...
Wow, that's amazing. Brilliant.
Have you ever seen the price of tutorial DVDs? Not just jewellery making. Now I'm talking about knitting, dancing, whatever.
And sometimes you only get a certain amount of times you can watch them. And then
really? If you download them, you mean?
Yeah, if you download it, you can only watch it a certain amount of times, and then it's gone. Or you got like a month's worth of watching time, and then it disappears.
That's no good, is it?
No.
That's no good, because again, I have to watch something over and over and over and over and over again before it actually sticks in my brain. Sue, I love Fleur's chainmail DVDs. As you can see in the show, she's such a great teacher. Oh, that's lovely.
You, Sue.
Lovely. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Sue, though, as well. Totally agree. And even if you've got one of these DVDs, swap it. You know, we've got no problem with you swapping it here in the studios. You know, if you come into for one of the workshops, no problem if you want to sell them on social media. A lot of our jewellery makers do that as well.
They do.
After they've mastered something.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I still go back to some of my... I was watching one of Laura Binding's DVDs yesterday because I couldn't remember how to do this certain weave, and it was on. I knew it was on Laura's DVD, and it was one of the first ones she ever did, and I went back and watched it and was like, now I know. I remember how to do it. So yeah, they're great for reminders as well, but they're great presents because all you need for chainmail is your DVD, some jump rings, and 2 pairs of pliers. So a great gift if you want to get gents involved as well, because men do love making chainmail because it's very mechanical.
It is, very. I agree. Can I just say, I mean, it might have changed since then, but I negotiated a deal of our DVD. When I was working upstairs in the office, I negotiated with our suppliers a deal, and I'm just looking on the back. They're still the same people, I think, of these being made, and that's not far off cost. Really. So that's like a giveaway deal. So well done. Well done. If it's still the same anyway. Well done to each and every single one of you. Check out as soon as you possibly can. Back to you, my darling.
Okay, so what we can do now is I can quickly show you, if we have got any new people watching, how you do open and close a jump ring, because we sort of take it for granted that people know how to open and close their jump rings. So what I'll do is I'll just close this one back up. Now the way that we open and close a jump ring is we open it like north to south rather than east to west. So you can see you've got a perfect circle there, and at the very top you can see a very faint black line where the cut of the jump ring is. Now I'm right-handed, but I don't tend to say right-handed or left-handed. I tend to say your dominant and your non-dominant hand, because some people write with their right hand but actually make with their left hand.
Do you know, that's really true, especially people that are left-handed.
Yeah, they do tend to, because I think you watch right-handed tutorials, or people that work in right-handed, you tend to learn that way as well.
Yes.
So whichever your dominant hand is the hand that's going to open the jump ring, and your non-dominant hand is the hand that's going to hold the jump ring. So as you can see how I'm holding the jump ring, I've got quite a lot of that jump ring in my pliers, so I'm going to stabilise the jump ring, because if I try and open it and hold just the ends here, it will twist like one of those wavy crisps, and we don't want wavy crisps, we want perfect flat circles when we're finished. So the way that we open our jump ring is we're going to open it towards myself, so it would look like it's going away from you, but it's towards me. So with my dominant hand coming in, I'm now just going to use my pliers and just open the jump ring towards me. Okay, so if I just do that again, so I'm opening towards me. Now the way why we open towards us is now the end of my jump ring is pointing away from me, so when I want to go and weave it into a chainmail weave, so if I just bring back this section here, you can see how easy it is to then just go through and pick up a jump ring. If it was the other way round, I'd have to come in from this way and be a little bit like a contortionist. So you're trying to make it as easy as you can for ourselves. So we open it towards us. Now because metal has a memory, it wants to stay forward now. So we've made the memory of the metal forward. What we now need to do is make it go back into a perfect circle. If we just go back to there, it will slightly spring forward a very minuscule amount, but still enough to feel it. You probably won't see it, but you'll feel a little rough edge. So what we need to do is just go past the end of our jump ring here, so go past it and then come back towards it, and sometimes you can hear a little click as it goes back together. Now what you need to make sure is it's gone together on the side, and if you look for on the top. Okay, so you can see now that you can't see any of the wires sticking up. It's absolutely closed, as good as it was when it first came out the bag, if you like, when it was first made.
It doesn't distort the 360 circle, does it?
But if when you're opening your jump ring, and I'm going to distort this one now, if you open your dominant hand towards you and your non-dominant hand away, because what some people do is they twist both hands. When it comes back together, it won't come back together it'll go back. I don't know if you can see that very well. You see it's quite wobbly. It's gone like one of those funny shaped crisps, the ones in the tubes.
The ones in the tubes?
Yeah.
I don't know what crisps you're talking about here.
Don't you?
No.
Crisps in tubes.
I do. No, I just...
Crisps in tubes.
Crisps in tubes. I know which ones you mean now. Yeah.
On them. Yeah. Don't want no wavy crisps. So when you are doing your... I bet you thought I was going crazy, didn't you?
Yeah, I did wonder what you were talking about.
So when we're closing and opening our jump rings, make sure that if you can, keep your elbows on the table. If you can at all. You can chainmail off of your tray sat in front of the telly, and I do all the time, but just make sure that your non-dominant hand, so the one that's with my bent nose pliers there, is staying as still as I can. Open it towards me.
You're opening one side.
Yeah, just one side, and then go back past, and you'll go back together absolutely perfectly.
Like a gate or a door.
Like a gate or a door, so you never will do it to this one.
You never do that way.
So you never open it like that, because when you try and put it back together, you'll never get it back together. And now, as you can see, I've made a bit of an edge.
You've made a right hash of that.
I have made a right hash of that.
You've made a right old hash of that one.
So yeah, never apart, always front and back like a door.
Yeah, fantastic. See, we need reminding of things like that, because you know what, I was watching and I've opened countless jump rings. I'm guilty of using both hands.
Both hands, yeah. It's just because naturally we do tend to coordinate our hands. We don't tend to do just something with one hand. So yeah, always keep your non-dominant hand still and just use your dominant hand.
Thank you, Fleur. Wonderful. Happy Christmas. creating, enjoy, do enjoy. Now, I've got a quick recap because again, those of you that might have had a lie-in this morning, who did? Who did? Come on, own up. Who had a lie-in? No, I know none of us did. I know that's not true. I know that's not true. We would have all been like, yeah, when the alarm goes off.
Still very dark.
Yes.
Very dark driving to work.
However, Monday, I say that, I bet you I won't.
No, you won't have a line.
No. Anyway, so totally digress. Totally and utterly digress. Even the puppy this morning was like that.
Mine was
what
as well.
are you doing?
Dolly didn't want to go outside.
No, Brutus is like that. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going out there. No. Do you want to Claire knows Brutus, my puppy, and you've looked after Brutus, Claire, haven't you? So if you say to Brutus, do you want to go wee wees? He's like that. No, I don't want to go outside.
Too cold and wet.
It's too cold and wet. Look at these. I love them. I love them, love them, love them. They're connectors as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They are connectors as well as beautiful jump rings. So these can be cut. You'd actually have to cut them yourself.
Yep.
But that's relatively easy to do.
Yeah, you can either cut them with your flush cutters, your shears, or your saw.
There we go. All of the above.
Yep.
All of the above. But as you can see, they're very decorative. You were saying, Fleur, that you've used them in resin.
Yeah. Last Sunday we showed how to use jump rings as bezels and filled them with resin, and these were perfect because they've got a nice deep well on them, so you've got a deep side.
They have. In fact, I'll do that. I'll pick one of them up as well and put it on the profile so you can actually see. The width that Fleur is referring to there. So yeah, it's going to hold. It's going to hold that product, I suppose, within or whatever keepsake you actually want. I like that idea. That's a really nice idea.
If you've got some polymer clay, the beautiful canes that Debbie creates, you could set them into these as bezels.
Yeah, frame your round gemstones as well. Maybe you've got some big statement cabochons, something like that would be just absolutely beautiful. Or simply use a smaller jump ring, connect them together and make a really high-end piece of jewellery like so. Love it. This is a recap. They're the only jump rings that we've actually got in that pattern on today's show, so do get them as soon as you possibly can. Again, would be lovely to use as a toggle.
Yeah, lariat style, so you could get lots of chains through these and have it as a traditional lariat style, which doesn't have a clasp as such, just has a loop,
endless,
and then
it?
pop your chains through there. So yeah, it'd be great as lariat styles.
That would be really nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm thinking that. Yeah, layers, waterfalls of chains going through. Fabulous. 50 in total in a pack, and they measure 20 millimeters in their size, but already lots of people have got involved. So this is a recap for you, so grab them as soon as you possibly can. Coming your way, $12.95. I mean, these could be just a feature pendant, couldn't they?
Definitely. Or, like we said before, you pop them onto a shepherd's hook. Lovely hoop earrings are always around. We go to any jewellers, they always have hoop earrings. And because these have got that beautiful texture, they catch the light so gorgeous as well, and it sort of like dances around with the lights. Really, really, I just think they're just really useful bits to have in your stash.
Yeah, for so much. I mean, you can use them as fastenings, clasps, connectors, bezels, as jump rings if you want, or you can use them as finished earrings.
Yeah, you could even just pop a little bit of cord either side, some thick S-long cord, and then just do a macrame knot on the back, and you've got a really simple, which is quite a designer look. Just have that one centre jump ring or centre round, and then the cord either side.
Love it. Very Italian-esque, aren't they, in terms of that alternating corkscrew?
Yeah.
Because you've got one part which is, if I just separate one of those out, you can actually see one sort of length almost, which has got that very fine twist.
I mean, you could never create something like this at home unless you had like the casting.
No, you couldn't.
I mean, some things we can recreate, like the twisted jump rings. We can twist a piece of wire and then make our jump rings. We can never recreate these unless we've got the moulds and everything else to go with.
Yeah, and I think even if you did try and then recreate it with the twisted wire and everything, and then you wanted to use it as a jump ring, so you're going to have to cut it. They're going to fray, maybe? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. They're going to fray. And also the time taken. You're going to take so much time to try and recreate them for that price. I'll just be buying on them.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, use it alongside all of the findings. Look amazing with the black that you had in the kit as well, which I believe has sold out already. We've got AA graded opal coming up just after the break. Don't forget, we've got the deal of the day as well, that wonderful storage bag with the hard handle as well, which I absolutely love. More from the gorgeous Fleur. I hope you're enjoying the show so far, and I hope you'll join us as well just after this.
There are 2 easy ways you can purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and FreeSat and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker. If you have a question or a query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2, or alternatively you can email help@jewellerymaker.com. When you place your first order with Jewellery Maker, we'll send you a free DVD and booklet to help you get started. The booklet is jam-packed full of information on gemstones, tools, threading, materials and findings. There are step-by-step instructions on how to make bracelets, earrings and necklaces, and the DVD includes easy-to-follow video tutorials. So what are you waiting for? Start your jewellery making journey today. There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
Good morning, jewellery makers. Lovely to have your company. My name's Elle Barker. Now we are going to go straight into an amazing star by Ethiopian opal. Firstly, opal can be discovered and sourced from various different locations around the world. Australian opal, Kubapedi opal, you can get Boulder opal, you can get mosaic opal, you can have Peruvian opal. There's various different locations and various different types. But in 2008, Ethiopian opal was discovered. Now, to say that in a very short period of time, and it is without doubt, gemologically speaking, one of the newcomers to the scene, in a very short period of time, it has gained global notoriety. Now, incredibly, the main seam which opal or Ethiopian opal was actually mined from does quite literally look like part of a barrier reef or something like that. It's got a huge great crevice, sourced on vertical cliffs, in actual fact, where groups of miners, usually around sort of 4 or 5, will work along those cliff faces with hand picks and chisels, actually unearthing this incredible gemstone. Now, just recently, unfortunately, that main seam is no longer in production, so there is no opal being unearthed from what was the original location, the original discovery of source. It was becoming less and less abundant, and the quality was becoming obviously less and less desirable. Now, thank goodness, just to the west of the main seam is a very small location where we discovered some Ethiopian opal. It's famed and has been talked about as some of the finest hydrophane performance that you could ever wish for. This gemstone comes out of tiny silica spheres, so it's not a crystal structure like your diamonds or your rubies or your sapphires or your emeralds. It forms out of tiny silica spheres which actually bring you that play of colour. But when it's got that liquid performance as well, then again, huge notoriety. However, whilst we're saying west is best, it is a very small quantity that's coming out of the ground. Now, I truly believe, and it is only my humble opinion, I can't read into the future, obviously, I don't know, I've not been fortunate enough yet to go to the Ethiopian opal mine, whilst I'd love to. I actually believe that there's a possibility that Ethiopian opal could potentially be depleted before even your Tanzanite. Because Tanzanite, we're still talking decades. Ethiopian opal, we're currently only talking about one small area, unless, of course, something is discovered overnight, which I highly doubt. To date, it hasn't as of yet. Now, here at Jewellery Maker, let's just bring this star bite into the equation. This is more of an investment strand. It is. However, in terms of the price point, what you're getting, please understand, is no reflection of the true value or worth. If you were to take this into any jewellers, show them the quality, I'm absolutely certain they'd be nodding with approval. I've recently, Tom's mum has actually got a gorgeous opal ring which she was gifted, and it's Ethiopian opal, and I said, you need to get it valued because things have really changed with this gemstone in terms of the price point, the valuation, because of everything that has gone on. Now, amazing that we have an opportunity here of a limited quantity, but to bring you an entire parcel. We buy our gemstones as a parcel. Imagine them sort of folded up into white paper, which protects the gemstones as well, stops them rummaging around and scratching the surfaces of each other. Imagine this strand, off the strand if you like, folded up into some sort of white tissue paper, which is, like I said, how you tend to buy them, because I believe you're about to buy a parcel right now, something that your jewellers, your traders, your gemologists, your collectors, your designers will actually source and buy like so. The quality is just amazing, because you don't want to have a parcel where there's some which have got that hydrophane performance, that play of colour, and some which absolutely don't. So here at Jewellery Maker, just to make life easier for everybody, we've put a grading system to it. So we've basically said, you know, you've got your non-graded opal, and this will start coming through more and more. When you've got AA graded, understand that it is some of the best that we can possibly bring you as well. Diane in Staffordshire, hello lovely ladies. I bought a AA and a AAA opal last week, and they are stunning. Can't stop looking at them. Well worth it if you can stretch your budget. Totally agree with you, Diane. There is a massive difference. And just on the back of Diane's comment, who's just literally texted into the show live, just there, non-prompted, you know, I'm so grateful that you did that, Diane, because I've got an opal from Ethiopia, an Ethiopian opal pair of earrings, which I absolutely love, and I've got some which I bought prior to that, where I didn't have such a big budget. I'm not too proud to admit that. And if you put the two together, there is a vast difference. So yes, this is more of an investment, understandably, but yet still no reflection of the true value or worth. I'm going to put this out there. Even if you bought this parcel, notice how I'm saying parcel rather than strand, just because the prestige of the quality here. If you buy this parcel right now, I'm going to suggest you could possibly sell this straight away without doing anything to it at a profit instantaneously. Now, AA graded, the amount of play of colour is what determines the value, determines the quality, determines the beauty. William Shakespeare wrote of this gemstone as the queen of gems, and I totally concur with that. The top colours of the spectrum, the reds, the oranges, the yellows and the blues are the rarest, and you've got it in its droves. Notice how you've got definite crystal opals here, where you've got the semi-translucency, or rather transparency, where you can see the play of colour not just across the surface but right the way down into the heart of each and every single one of those beautiful pear drops. If I could, and believe me, I've already tried, I'd wanted to pre-order this strand, but it's limited, 21 centimetres in length. But the reality, please consider this as a parcel. When I was over in Jaipur, I was sat next to probably one of the world's leading colour gemstone buyers on the planet, negotiating with Ethiopian opal. They were absolutely stunning, incredible, one of a kinds even. And I can't remember, I can't recall exactly how much. Frankly, it's none of my business how much they paid for it. But I do know that that parcel that was purchased was going to go on to, you know, your gold jewellery, your platinum jewellery, most certainly your 18 carats and above. Every single one of these are premium solitaires in their own right. I mean, look how neon those play of colours are. And that's not dyeing, it's not treating of the gemstone, it's Mother Nature's incredible ability. Already, we have got connoisseurs making those confirmations. Use this 30 days, the 30-day money-back guarantee. Get it home, fall in love with it, hold it in your own two hands, justify your purchase, and if you can, do a bit of research, and you'll realise that Ethiopian opal, I think, is potential we could be saying goodbye to in the very foreseeable future. So it's down to us. Do we want to pay an amazing price point for a parcel of high quality graded opal right here, right now, or do we want to pay to get hold of it at a more considered purchase, which it probably will be in the future? First come, first serve. Your star buy price of $79.95. Just picture one of those solitaires, 8x6 being well over the standard calibration. Take that, imagine it in sterling silver, or imagine it in your gold, which they deserve, to be honest, certainly your high-end precious metals. Imagine that in one retailer's. Let's just, whichever one's your favourite. I'm just looking here in the middle just because it's for ease, if you like. Just which one's your favourite here? So have you picked your opal? The one you want to make your design out of, the one that you'd like to see on your hand, or wherever you choose to wear it. Do you know what? I'm really loving this one here. It's not necessarily the biggest, but I'm loving this with it. Is that the one you like, Ryan, as well? Yeah, love it. Just because you've got such a difference of play of colour there, and there is different types of play of colour as well. So I'm drawn to this one. Can you imagine this with some gold, with a gold bezel setting all the way around, simple gold shank or sterling silver at $79.95 in a jewellery house? Absolutely, I certainly can, and that's just one of the gemstones. Audrey, Winifred, hello to you. Swetha, hello to you. Mary, Paul and Nicole, Sheila and Martin, Jemai, you've got yours. New buyers, you're there as well. A fantastic parcel, beautiful exemplary grade, as you can see, so much so that we're willing to put that AA stamp on as well. Well done. I've got to move on in the essence of time, because I've got some more. Now maybe not everybody's got $79.95. I can understand this. You know, it's more of a considered purchase. They're coming your way. Kim, is this our strand? Oh my goodness, this looks like the strand that we bought. It's, firstly, look at the length, so how much you're getting here. My, wow. Okay, so if you haven't got $79.95, I understand. Amazing quality for what you're getting there, though. These are rondelles. Can you imagine this is a combination? Now, 30 carats. Play of colour, yes, absolutely, but slightly more affordable. Faceted into a rondelle, you can see the translucency is ever so slightly different. That's the beauty of Ethiopian opal, because you can get crystal opal, jelly opal, and if you actually compare Ethiopian opal next to, in comparison to maybe your Kubapedi or your Australian. Now listen, I'm not talking them down. I love Australian opal and Kubapedi opal, but Ethiopian opal is my preference, personally speaking, just because I think you benefit from the play of colour throughout the entirety of the gemstone, not just across the surface. But these are more of a sort of milky white body colour, but then you've still got that flash of red, the green, the yellows coming through as well. A rondelle, I mean, I'm thinking just a couple of inches, maybe on some sterling silver chain, you've got something incredible and beautiful.
Yeah, just 3 in an earring as well. You don't need very much of them at all. Maybe using the sterling silver jump rings that were in the last hour or the hour before as well. Absolutely beautiful. Like you say, you've got so much on that strand there. You know, you can make a full suite. So you can do your neckline piece, have a section in the middle of your necklace, and then a bracelet, and then your earrings as well. If you've got Jan's lovely channel set
yes,
DVD,
I was thinking that as well.
You could channel set these and have some beautiful like channel set pendants and rings.
Yeah, they'd be incredible, wouldn't they? Because of the rondelle itself, the shape of it itself. I'm just curling this up into the palm of my hand because here in the studio we've got so many lights and bulbs and everything that actually drowns out the quality of the opal and gives you an inaccurate view. This is more like what you'll actually see. So if I shelter it somewhat, this is more like what you actually get when you get it home. All of those lovely silica spheres, especially the zesty oranges, incredible. I have to bring that price tag in. It is wow, going straight down to not $79.95, which is incredible for that grade. I truly think you could add zeros to that to the price of the previous, and again, no reflection of the true value or worth here. 30 carats of natural Ethiopian opal. Make sure you buy from a reputable source, one that you know is bringing you the real deal, genuine, the real article, because unfortunately there are many synthetics and fakes out there. Beautiful, genuine gemstones. And this is what we imagine Ethiopian opal or opal generally to be, really. It's a soft gemstone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, my eternity ring is blue zircon and Ethiopian opal.
Lovely.
And it's so beautiful because it just gives so many different looks to a piece as well, because you've got all those different colours coming out of it, and you can get lost looking at it, can't you? You can stare at it for hours because you've got so many
fascinating, and you'll notice it from a distance as well. Notice from a distance, absolutely incredible. Now we have a star buy coming your way. Did you set a Kimbo of the gold? We're doing 9 carat gold. It's coming up as a star buy though. Okay, right now. Okay, if we are to gift or sell or stamp any item with the assay office, firstly, the assay office is, as you'd expect, it's governed, it's meticulously monitored, and that's what it's there for. It's to monitor the jewellers, essentially. So that's fantastic. If you were to sell something which was sterling silver and you wanted to market it as sterling silver, same with your golds, whether it be 9 carat, 14 carat, 18 carat, whatever it might be, 24 carat platinum, then it has to be exclusively that precious metal, unless, of course, it's those two tones. But so what I'm trying to get at is, if you were to make a high-end piece of jewellery, maybe with the AA graded opal that you've just seen, and you have a 9 carat gold chain, and you just literally want to suspend it with a simple bail and some crimps, you couldn't then just put, I don't know, a little bit of copper in there or something like that. Firstly, it'll devalue it. Secondly, you couldn't advertise it as 9 carat gold, because it's not entirely 9 carat gold. So we need everything, even the mechanics, if you like, of your piece of jewellery to be in that gold. So this is where your crimps come in. Now I have got solid 9 carat yellow gold here, crimps, which again can be used as decorative features, don't have to be the mechanics, if you like, don't actually have to be the mechanics, of luster, of beauty, of buttery gold. I've actually seen these, and if I just turn my tweezers around so you can actually see the measurements, 2 by 2 millimeters, all the way around, threaded through with a little bit of clear elastic, and you've got a stunning gold bracelet straight away. But it's really important, Fleur, isn't it, just to have everything in that one metal, if that's what you're advertising it as.
Yes, yeah, it has to be for legal reasons, for, like you say, for the trading standards as well, and the assay office won't assay it if any part of that piece is not. If you're assaying it as pure gold, you can assay mixed metals.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you want that piece to be pure gold, then, but for me, these are more than just a crimp. These are a feature just by themselves, in between the pearls or in between the Ethiopian opals that we've just had, just to separate them out and have that really nice, luxurious gold touch.
They're almost too beautiful to use as crimps, aren't they? And
They
crimps will be the, you know, the mechanics, the finishings, the ends, if you like, of a bracelet or a necklace. But they are so beautiful, it's almost a shame to do that. But they are, again, a necessity. Yeah. You know, the assay office, trading standards are absolute sticklers to a point of if you have fragments, cross-contamination of different metals, they won't stamp it. And it can be the tiniest trace amount of a different metal. Let's bring that price tag in, because something is about to go down. I can hear Kim getting very, very excited in the gallery. She said, star buy, lots of you choosing to multi-buy, should be for the gram weight, and you can see there is a substantial gram weight, should be £14.95. Not today. Not today. How many have we got though? Okay, have we got a quantity of them? Okay, 200, but that's not huge amounts in actual fact. So straight down on the basis that Susan in Yorkshire's bought 2, Susanna in Wiltshire's bought 2, London's bought 4 of these, Rosaline's there, Tyne and Ware is there as well. Hang on, that's almost half price. £8.95 for genuine gold. Can we just set back to what we were saying with the sterling silver, Fleur? You know, we need to think about the fact that this is monetary value without anything being done to it.
And the fact as well, when you buy anything like this from a bullion dealer, which is where you would buy these kind of, you don't buy 10, you buy a gram's worth. And so they might say there'd be 100 in a gram, but that gram of gold is worth a gram of gold on the high street.
Absolutely.
So it's very, very expensive. You might not want 100 gold 9-carat gold crimps. You might not have the budget to outlay into that.
Well, it's going to be an investment, firstly, isn't it?
It's going to be a huge investment. So to be able to buy 10 and have, you know, have those for your special pieces that your special birthday pieces that you're making for somebody, or like we said, a spacer in between, or if you are using them, you know, for your jewellery to sell. These are perfect, and they're almost like bite-sized little pieces that you can buy, rather than, like we said, having 100 of them and not being able to use 100 or outlay that, because that would be a lot of money to outlay for 100.
Especially if you're sort of starting off, you know, if we're making and to be honest, if you make jewellery as a hobby, then why would you want 100?
Exactly.
You know, you're not going to necessarily need it. You know, if you make pieces of jewellery for yourself, not everybody's got the multiple high-end strands to warrant the gold in, but you can warrant 10. Then that makes sense to me. Absolutely, loads of you there. Congratulations to every single one of you for the green diamonds that you had earlier on. I think you need gold. If you love gold, that is. I'm a gold wearer myself. If you prefer your sterling silver, not to worry, I've got sterling silver coming up as well. So, but certain gemstones command a precious metal, don't they? Yeah. And I agree with you there, Fleur, that not everybody has got a budget to buy 100 crimps like this.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I've looked before at bullion dealers and thought, I could buy a gram's worth of head pins, but the outlay would be far too much. So I'd have to sell at least 4 or 5 pieces before I'd even start to recoup some of that money back.
And that's one finding.
And that's one finding, yeah. So I don't want a gram's worth of gold set in, you know, as crimps. For me, 10 is a perfect amount. I can use 2 in my earrings, a couple in the front of a bracelet, neckline piece, perfect.
Love it. Well done. Again, stay where you are. Do check out as soon as you can. Good luck to Annalie, Victoria, Jane, Cindy, Sussex, Nicole. I did say I'm going to bring you the sterling silver, and I can do that as well. Now, this is an entire pack, so you're actually getting 2 packs. Is it this one? 2 packs of your sterling silver. So include, oh yes, 2 different chains. 2 lots of your shepherd hooks, 2 lots of your lobster claws, 2 lots of your crimps in sterling silver with the yellow gold overlay, 2 lots of your crimp covers, 2 lots of your jump rings, 2 lots of your toggles, 2 lots of your head pins. So in total, you're getting about 90 pieces in a sterling silver pack. Should be priced straight away on your screen. So look at the difference. You've actually got the 2 different variations as well of the design. This is an 8-inch length of chain on both of those. The ones in the centre, can you see those? Those are both 8 inches. You've got crimps, which are 3 by 2 millimeters. You've got about 20 of those. You've got about 15 of your head pins times 2. You have your shepherd hooks, as you can see, 8 shepherd hooks in total, 4 pairs. Your toggles, your lobster claws, your jump rings, etc. So some people prefer sterling silver, or prefer the fact that this is actually, you know, it's ticking all the boxes as a jewellery maker. You're getting multiple findings, so it's going to create lots of pieces of jewellery.
Yeah, definitely. This is your stash essentials. Everything in there is what you need to create those beautiful pieces of jewellery. And for me, all you need to do with those 2 chains is pop your clasp on the end, and you've got 2 beautiful chains that you would wear all the time.
Great minds think alike, Fleur, because that's literally what I was doing right now. I've just laid one of the chains across my wrist. I'm going to put there we go. The lobster claw, it doesn't really need that lobster claw because that's the biggest one. So let's go down a bit. I'm going to say, okay, the smaller of the lobster claw. Yeah, that suffices, doesn't it? Then a jump ring.
Yep.
That's all I need, isn't it?
You need another jump ring as well for
another jump ring.
That's it. That's all you need.
This is all I need. Okay, so I've got 4 components out of this entire double bundle. So you could maybe add a charm if you wanted to, maybe one of your opals that you saw earlier on. Bear in mind, okay, so 1 head pin, yeah, to add a gemstone too. So let's say we're being really decadent now. So I've got in total, I've got 5 findings there out of this pack. Not £33.90, £19.95. So these are working out at 22 pence each. 2, 4, 6, 8. That's £1.10. That's how much the sterling silver bracelet has cost me to make right now.
You could take a few of your jump rings and make a Mobius charm rather than using your head pin if you wanted, just as a different look.
So keep those for the actual mechanism and clasp. Yeah. And I've got 3 here, 3 more jump rings. So I can make a Mobius ring. Yep. Those of you who want to know what a Mobius ring is, bear with us. Again, Fleur is the chainmail expert. So there we go. So how many have I got now? We're being very decadent, aren't we? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So it's what, £1.40 something. For a sterling silver with genuine gold over the top piece of jewellery. Needless to say, very, 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 very busy. Lots of you there. Got to move on. Stay where you are. Do check out. Shall I give you some gorgeous mother of pearl next? Oh, you don't see it. We don't see, or I haven't done in a long time, enough of our shells, printed shells. Great for the forthcoming season. It tends to be more of a summer strand, just because they are a bit of fun, I suppose. Kind of remind me of Japanese art. These are fab. I can imagine you wearing these, Fleur.
Yeah, I was going to say these are absolutely perfect for
me.
They
are definitely a little bit of you.
Yeah, they are. They certainly
very
are.
Vintage-esque, aren't they?
Very vintage-esque, and you can use these in so many different ways. You know, you could use them all together, or individual pendants, or a ring. I saw these in the week and I did order them in the week.
Did you order them? Well, these are brand new, so you must have seen something slightly different.
Ones, yeah.
Do you know what I'm picturing? Sort of 1950s wiggle dresses, maybe with one of those, you know, hair ties in a big bow at the top, and then this around the neckline. Fabulous, you know, sort of wartime fashions.
Yes, definitely.
I think these would be incredible. And they are printed on both the sides as well, so you've got your yellow and your red roses here. I love these, just one of them on a pendant, 30mm size, brand new in, your mother of pearl flat coins, big quantity. 200 in total of these are available, but grab them whilst you can. And again, because they're mother of pearl, because they're a gemstone which aren't a huge weight behind them, you can wear these as earrings.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've got pieces of jewellery that I think, for me, they're a bit uncomfortable to wear. They're too heavy and I want to take it off. So they're all right for the hours that I'm wearing them. But for this, because it's lightweight, but you've still got that huge pop of colour, I can wear this all day. I wouldn't be trying to like thinking, oh, when can I take this jewellery off because it's uncomfortable or it's heavy. They'd be perfect.
Which we do, I do that as well, Fleur. You know, you think at the beginning of the night or the beginning of the day or whatever it is, like, I'm going to, best intentions, I love these, I'm going to wear them. But then within like a couple of hours, if you're anything like me, they're off. They've been whipped off just because they're irritating the ear or something like that. So yeah, these are very, very, very wearable just because of the actual weight of the gemstone itself. And you're getting the pearlescence. You're going to see that lovely mother of pearl shimmers across the surface of the patterns. Love these. I am just picturing wiggle dresses right now, you know, sort of wartime fashion. I think they'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey?
Hair in victory rolls.
Yeah, victory rolls. I bet Martha will be loving these right now. Okay, let's bring it to you, your star buy price. Grab it whilst you can. Should be $6.95. You've got 13 pendants here, really. I mean, they are pendants, aren't they? Drilled through the centre, so easy to make a pendant or a pair of earrings out of these. Saw the shepherd hooks, get a head pin, feed it through, do a wrap loop, and you're away. This is working out at 38 pence each. Maybe this is the first item of jewellery that you ever create. And I'm keeping that very basic, very simple.
Yeah. But you know, if you did want to make something really simple, you could put some elastic through those and have one of the front of a stretchy bracelet, and then just some beautiful either shell pearls or, you know, whichever beads you've got, whatever gemstones you want to pair that up with. Because with our shell pearls, we do have these beautiful colours, and I bet we could get, you know, the yellows and the, you know, some more of the pinks in the shell pearl as well that match.
Do you know, at this price, you could multi-buy and make a belt.
Yep.
A genuine gemstone belt, because they're that 30mm, you know, shape as well and size. They're big enough to maybe support a belt.
Or on your shoes.
Or on your shoes.
They'd be gorgeous as little buttons on the front of your shoes.
Oh, if you've got any of our shoe clips as findings, just put one of those and clip it over the front. That'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Maybe embellish a fascinator or something like that. Have you got any of the fascinator bases? We've got Day of the Races coming up. Well, it's the national today, isn't it? But yeah, maybe you've got some of the lace or feathers. Yeah, can you imagine these with yellow and red and green feathers and a bit of net? Yeah. How 1950s?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
That would be fabulous.
Need Linda or Sheila to make that for me.
We do. Linda, if you're watching right now, you know those amazing fascinators. Our Fleur needs one. She needs one. With these, amazing. I'd make you one. Mine won't be as good as Linda's though. Stay where you are. Lots of you choosing to multi-buy. Look, see, amazing, isn't it? Just like so. And I've got a very plain outfit, which many gemstones would get lost in. Not these, they're not getting lost. Stay where you are on those phone lines. We had 200, but most of you are getting 2s, 3s and 4s. Moving on, because we have... Sorry? Oh, all of these. Gem tack. Oh, there's glue here I've not seen before. I'm going to start with the ones you might have seen more recently, or more frequently, sorry, is the right word to describe. These are your essentials. They're professional glues. They're what's used in the jewellery industry. That's what are used in multiple craft mediums. First of all, you've got the GS Hypo Cement, and you can see on the picture here, it has got a precision applicator, so great for your half-drilled pearls to attach your butterfly post to. It's exactly what any jewellers will do. There's nothing else. There's no skill in it other than using the right type of glue with the right tool, basically, because you couldn't actually insert, or with great difficulty anyway, insert glue into a genuine cultured pearls without getting it across the surface and damaging the pearl. You do really want to have that precision. Then the E6000. Now I will ask Fleur in just a moment to talk about what each of these glues do and what are best for each of those. E6000, I believe, is one of the most universal, shall we say, so sticks woods, fabrics, plastics, metals, etc. Then you've got your Gemtac. Now, permanent glue. I've not seen this previously before. Bonds embellishments to many surfaces, including fabrics, woods, glass, plastics and more. So first time I've actually seen the Gemtac. So look, very, very, very secure. And last but by no means least, these are all types of glue. So, and you will have needs for different types of glue. That's again which I'm going to lean on Fleur for. This is a multi-use 527 beacon glue. So, never seen it before. Never, ever, ever seen it. So this must be new to us. Now it says on the front, and I'll read that out to you, bonds metal, cork, tile, ceramics, wood, paper, glass and more. So again, this could be even down to the fact you could use this with your home decorations. We all need some really strong glue, don't we, within our cupboards, time and time and time again. They'll all have uses for each individual type of glue. That's why there's so many out there. That's why so many are different manufactured. So Fleur, if I may.
So the Hypo Cement with the precision glue, that's more of a hard bond glue. So that creates more of a, what we think of as a glue. It's quite rigid.
Like a cement.
Like a cement glue,
cement.
yeah. The E6000 is more of like a silicone-based glue, so it's got a lot more movement within it. So if you wanted to glue your leathers together, say, you've still got a little bit of movement, so it's not going to crack and it's not going to go yellow at all. So it's perfect for your fabrics and your leathers. The Gemtac, again, exactly the same. That's great if you want to put your leathers onto your collars. You know the big collar bases that we do? If you want to glue gemstones or leathers or fabrics onto those, that's great because again you've got a lot of movement within it. With the Hypo Cement it starts to go off quite quickly. With the silicone style glues, that more gel type glue, you've got a lot more work time with it, so you can move things around before it's set.
There's a bit more flexibility to them.
Flexibility. And then the one on the end, I've never actually used that one before, I've never seen that one before, but I assume because it bonds metals and glasses, it's exactly the same. It's like a silicone base, so it's more of like a gel when it comes out, so you've got a lot more work time with it. But again, great for your, you know, when we used to do gem art, those kind of things.
Yes.
These are what we used to use.
So you don't want the glue to colour in any way?
No, it's clear, and you can use it with all your different metals as well.
Okay, so you can see that there's a use and an occasion for every single one of these as well. I'm sticking with you, glue selection, which should be coming your way at £23.80. I mean, that's going to keep you sticking for ages, isn't it? You know, for your home decor, for any of your crafts really, because it's going to cover all different crafts, not just jewellery making. At an affordable price, of course. That's what our bundles are all about. I was actually in a recent, you know, in one of the big DIY stores the other day, and I don't buy glue from them anymore, just because what's the point? I can get it from Jewellery Maker at a much more affordable price tag. But I still, you know when you walk past, they tend to be on the end of the aisles, don't they? Tend to be, because they're one of those items that you'd throw into you'd grab on your way out. But yeah, they're so expensive.
They are. And sometimes you can't use those kind of glues. All these glues will be absolutely perfect for gluing your elastic.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want is those glues that are extra super, because that will perish.
Yes, it eats into the plastic, doesn't it?
It eats into plastic, it eats into fabrics as well, and like we said, makes it go really solid. So these glues are absolutely perfect for jewellery. And what I would tend to use the 2 larger ones for, if you've got a bigger surface area, like one of the collars, I would use that rather than my smaller tube of E6000.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'd keep that for more intricate work. And
that makes sense.
So that's what I would use the 2 larger ones for.
And your fascinators that we were talking about as well, you need glues for that. In fact, I need to get hold of this bundle because I want to make my own table decorations for the wedding.
Perfect,
so these, you know, these are they'd be incredible for that. Moving on to a load of shepherd hooks, beautiful shepherd hooks, multiple shepherd hooks, the easiest, the most cost-effective, the most I don't want to say skillless. It's the first item of jewellery generally, other than maybe a stretchy bracelet, that we tend to make as jewellery makers. A lot of guest designers say it's their bread and butter, basically. I know Mark Smith, who's with me tomorrow, does, his guest designer. I know you have, Fleur, in the past, because it takes you, what, a couple of minutes to take a shepherd hook like this, add whatever gemstone or whatever feature you want to it, and you've got a finished piece of jewellery. Also, earrings do tend to be the item as a consumer, as a purchaser, that we change more.
Yes, yeah, they are. And they also, if you are selling, I know Mark's always said before, he always makes 2 pairs of earrings for 1 necklace. Yeah. And if it can be a bit of a deal breaker, you know, if someone's umming and ahhing whether to buy the necklace, he can then pop the earrings in for free as well. So they can be that bargaining tool.
Clincher.
Yeah, that little. But earrings are great for getting your inspiration. So when you first get a kit or you've got a strand of gemstones, you don't know how to use them, most designers will say the first thing they make is a pair of earrings to get them into the feel of the kit, and that's what they'll make first, is their earrings, and then they'll build the kit around, or their designs around those earrings. Yeah, love it. And again, you've got that drop, you've got that elegance. These are gold plated, so you've got genuine gold over your copper, and you're getting 50 pairs in total, so there's 100 individual shepherd hooks. Should be coming your way at £9.95. If you do the maths here, obviously it equates down to just pennies per shepherd hook. Lowest ever price point on these. Grab them whilst you can. And again, so easy to make a pair of earrings. Great gifts, great just because presents, which I think is a great idea. You know, if you're just popping round to see your neighbour or your friend or your loved ones or your family, rather than take a box of chocolates, which tends to be more than £5.95 anyway, or a bottle of wine or a bunch of flowers, take a pair of earrings, something that they can wear and enjoy indefinitely. Yeah. They make lovely, like we always talk about wish bracelet cards, you can make earring cards as well, so pop them onto your greetings cards. Yeah. So you've got a gift and a piece of jewellery all
That's
together.
a really nice idea, isn't it? Hook them over the front. It's a great idea. Now, these can also be used as bails, so if you actually take that shepherd's hook itself, which is obviously the fairly obvious part, I suppose, and just corkscrew it round, they can be turned into connectors or bails, can't they?
Definitely, you can have them as clasps as well. You can have them like a J-hook clasp. There's lots you can do with them.
Loads and loads and loads. Just because they are labelled as earrings doesn't mean that they have to be, and our jewellery makers are amazing at thinking outside of the box. Fabulous. Lowest ever price point. Never been to that price previously, so do grab them whilst you can. Now, just because I move on doesn't mean that you haven't been successful. I've just got lots to squeeze in this hour, including your beading stoppers. I love these. You know what? We could manufacture these as stress relievers. I'm not saying that's medical, but to me, you know, like you buy your stress balls and things like that. I've got to play with these. I have to play with them. Now, they've also obviously got a function, not just for playing with. These are your bead stoppers, and you get 12 in total. Now, imagine you've got, I don't know, you want to create a floating neckline piece where you've got to glue and position. You've had the glues already, some gemstones, and when they're drying, you need them to stay just so, where they are. How do you do that other than stand there and sit for hours holding it? How do you do that? You use your bead stoppers, basically. Now, it's not unusual. It's not unusual for people to buy multiples of. Shall I just use an example? So say, here we go, I've got some beading thread here. So if this is going to be part of my deal of the day, by the way. So here's just some normal beading thread. So imagine I want to create sort of floating pearls or something like that. So I'll thread my pearls through, thread the beading thread through the pearls rather. Say that I want the pearl to be positioned just there. Put a little bit of glue on, like so, and I don't want it to be moving around, obviously, whilst it's wet. So I take my beading stoppers and, bear with, put it like this, put one there, and imagine there's a gemstone in the middle. Obviously, you'll be able to do this a lot easier, and like so, so it doesn't move around. That's what your bead stoppers are for, but you'll find multiple functions. Victoria, these are the best, could not be without them. Loving the show. Thank you, Victoria. They are, aren't they? They are.
Yeah.
They're those little gadgets that once you've got, you think, how have I managed without them? What have you got in your little...
I've got them in here. I always keep them with me. They're in all my pockets of my... I've got 8 bundles of these.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing multiple layered pearl necklaces, you need to keep all the strands separated, and that they're perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. They're brilliant. I've used them for wires as well, for putting, for holding wires straight and together.
That's a really good point. Yeah, actually keeping them. So if you're actually doing like a weave, sometimes you see Laura with the 3 wires and then she binds them together. Do you know what I mean? Just literally like rows of traffic, I suppose, just alongside one another. Instead of having to hold them, position them with your bead stoppers. There's so many uses for these. Hence why loads of people are always buying them, and hence why people don't just have the one pack. You're getting all 12 for $6.95. It's basically that extra pair of hands when you need it.
Well, when you've got a graduated strand and you need the last, say, 2 off of each end to make your earrings with, or for a design, you then need to be able to either put a crimp on there or tie it so that you don't lose the middle, because they've been naturally graduated for you. You don't want to lose that graduation. So pop a bead stopper on the end of each one, and you can keep that centre section of your graduated strand perfect, and just use the ends where you want them.
Yeah, use them when you want them. You'll probably find multiple functions in various different things, your card making and things like that, when you want to position something, because they can just literally pinch between the actual spring itself. It's a simple idea, but yet so effective. And lots of you there, appreciating the simplicity, but just how functional they are as well. Just how functional they are. Our helping hands tool, it's a smaller version of that, basically, isn't it?
It is, yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's a smaller version of that, so you can actually position things alongside. Fabrics.
Yep.
We've been talking about glues and your fascinators and things like that. Sometimes you need that pressure to secure something whilst it's being whilst it's hardening or drying. This will apply that pressure. Leave that with you. Got to move on, because we have a beautiful bracelet kit. Comes boxed, gorgeously boxed. Now back in stock. Oh, hang on a second. Here we go. Let me take that out. We launched this not so long ago, and it flew, sold out instantaneously. So tells you the popularity of this beautiful charm bracelet. Now it can be one piece of jewellery. It can be multiple. You could be buying this now for the findings if you want, because you've got lots of jump rings for all the chain mailers out there. You've got lots of individual star charms. You've got the length of chain, and you've got the toggles. So this is what the whole piece is designed to finish as. Comes in this lovely box as well. Comes with the instructions, so you know how to attach it, and I'll just quickly show that. So that's the end result. How it even goes back as basic as how to open a jump ring. You've seen Fleur demonstrate that this morning. Great starter gift, great for the newcomers. Talks through the components, talks through how you attach the chain, how you actually attach all of the star charms, etc. So to the finished piece of jewellery, but many people will also be buying it on the basis of everything that you get in here. And for me, the actual superstar are these little star charms, because they could be your own personal stamp, couldn't they?
I've stamped my children's names on mine.
Oh, that's so
little
cute.
initial on each one. Like
That's so cute. Anybody that got involved with the metal stamping show the other day, which we had just a couple of days ago, you should hopefully be getting all of your tools arrive at your doorstep now. Just, you know, the metal stamps that we had, yeah, initials, exactly, and that's all you have, Fleur, isn't it, to do that?
Yeah, that's all you need is your hammer and your stamps. That's all you need, and your metal block to stamp onto.
Yeah.
You know, your steel block.
Now this could be an anklet because the chain itself, it's not 8 inches, it's 50 centimetres in total. Yeah, 50 centimetres, so it could easily be a necklace too. It doesn't have to be a bracelet. Or, like I said, you could be buying it for the actual findings that are included within this. Now in total you're getting, as I said, 50 centimetres of your gold-plated copper chain, which measures 4 by 3 millimetres. One of your copper heart groove locks, that's really substantial. You can see at the top of your screen there, 15 millimetres. 100 of your open jump rings, they're 6 mil jump rings. So again, you can use it in chainmail. And there's 100 there. Fabulous. And 100 of your charms. So, okay. I can remember how much today, hang on, 100 jump rings, plus all your charms, plus your chain, plus your £9.95. So would you be chain mailing with this?
What I would do with this little pack is I'd do a section of chain mail in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I'd just do a 1-in-1 chain either side, and that the chain mail is where I'd attach all my little stars with my whatever you want to stamp on there. We want to keep them just as stars, or add some gemstones in as
So
well.
you can take this from what could be a very basic design, and it is a basic design, but yet so effective, to a very advanced.
Yeah, or you could, because it's gold, you could get those beautiful shepherd's hooks that we did earlier and make 50 pairs of star earrings.
Oh, isn't that a good idea?
And then you don't have a bracelet, but you've got 50 pairs of star.
Well, you have, because you could just have a plain chain bracelet.
You could have your plain chain bracelet, and then you could have a few stars on there and use your shepherd's hooks and your jump rings to attach your other stars and maybe some of your gemstones, whichever you choose to put on.
Sorted, all job done. It is a reorder though, so that tells you the popularity of this. Again, loads of you on the phone lines. We are busy today. And I talk about, like, if you think about all of your brands, your designers, like, you know, so Tiffany's, your Chanel's, your Gucci, etc. They all have their own style, I suppose, or own signature. Roberto Coin does. That could be yours. The little stars, the little star charms. Incredible. Stay where you are. We've got loads to squeeze in. More designer inspiration coming your way. The deal of the day as well, which is this fantastic Jewellery Maker bag. Again, very popular. Loads and loads of findings. More incredible jump rings. Of course, because we have Fleur on your steampunk weekend, folks, and a star buy after this. Beryl is a gemstone family and houses some of the world's most valuable gemstones. Emeralds, probably being the most expensive. Aquamarine, not too far behind that. Morganite, without shadow of a doubt. You've got Heliodor, Goshenite there. So it's a gemstone family which, to me, defines femininity and elegance. Emerald is probably the one which is a little bit of an outsider in its appearance, because it's a type 3 gemstone, so it's expected to have internal characteristics and inclusions. However, Heliodor, Morganite, Goshenite and Aquamarine are gemstones that generally really love to show off internal clarity and a sparkle, a beauty, which is incredibly feminine. Now, for hundreds of years we've been in love with this beautiful gemstone. There have been new additions to it, obviously. In the early 1900s, Morganite was discovered, and it's soft trace elements that will decide what member of the Beryl family it will be. Look at that golden beryl in the centre, absolutely glowing. The baby pinks, that's manganese, which produces those lovely Morganite tones. Iron will bring you the lovely powder blue of aquamarine. But to have that combination of colour and clarity is very rare, because ordinarily we generally have to make sacrifices unless you've got an unlimited budget. You have to make sacrifices for the colour or for the clarity. So I've got aquamarine in my own personal collection, for example, which has got the most incredible amount of colour, but yet it's an opaque gemstone. It is. There's no translucency. There's no clarity to it. It's still beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it has got it's got that colour, but it hasn't got the actual brilliance. When you see both, like in this strand, it's exciting, really, really exciting. The perfect summer gemstone family in my eyes, because it houses all of those really pretty pastels, pastel pinks and greens and yellows and powder blues. Now, I have just 50 opportunities, a brand new star buy coming your way, and an exquisite, exquisite star buy price point for you as well. I know that Fleur, you're very much like myself. You like the pretty pastel gemstones as well, don't you? So this, with any of the findings, the precious metal findings in a bracelet like yours.
I was just about to say, if you use the sterling silver 6mm jump rings in between and create just a simple bracelet, that would be, because you'd be able to see it all the time. That's the beauty of bracelets and rings. You can see them, and you can admire them yourself. When it's a necklace, you know it's for other people's benefit rather than for you to look at. Yeah, that's true.
Actually, that is really true.
But for me, that's a perfect bracelet.
It's just
isn't
beautiful.
It?
And I agree. Yeah, just actually seeing those. I mean, look at the quality of your aquamarine here. The intensities of those lovely blues. Beautiful, pretty pinks here. Let's bring that price tag in straight down. First come, first serve. We've got a lot to squeeze in this morning. Much to bring you, including designer inspiration in the next hour. $39.95 only. Absolutely amazing. So, I mean, my favourite publication, my favourite book still to this day, and I've been talking about it probably for about 10 years, is Exquisite Pieces of Jewellery from the 19th and 20th century. And it's pretty much pictures, Fleur. It's not necessarily huge amounts of information about gemstones or the designers or anything like that. It's pictures of iconic pieces of jewellery, and many of those pictures, I always sort of bring that up when I'm talking about aquamarine, because many of the pictures are of the aquamarine, and I used to use it when I worked on what was our previous USA channel. I used to use it to show off the quality of colours that we long for with aquamarine in particular, and I'm singling that out as well, because you'd rarely see clarity with colour. It does tend to be, like I said, included or almost colourless to a certain degree. I mean, how many times have you seen aquamarine and it's marketed and labelled as aquamarine, but how many times have you thought, is it actually that gemstone? Because it actually looks more like a quartz or something like that. Amazing. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Lots of you there. Do check out though as soon as you possibly can. Okay. One of your favourite gems. You love your jade. Mm-hmm. Seraphonite.
Yep.
Oh, what's the other? Oh, I can't remember. What were your favourite gemstones?
Labradorite.
Labradorite, yes.
Peridot and citrine.
All right. I only said you could have 3.
Oh, no. Okay. and I like all green gems.
I'm only joking. No, the reason why I'm asking...
chrome dioxide is one of my big...
Chrome dioxide. One of my favourites, and I think this is pretty well known, is that my favourite is green onyx. One off.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Listen, it's rarely does this happen, but it's actually not the most expensive. Sometimes when you see something in a shop and there's no prices or something like that, and they'll pick your favourite, I like that one. It's always the most expensive one, isn't it? And I don't do that intentionally, or in a magazine or something like that. Like, God. This is one of those rare opportunities where onyx, it's still a beautiful, it's an amazingly beautiful, unique gemstone, but it's actually one of the most affordable currently. That doesn't mean that it's going to change that might change in the future. It's such a unique tone, secondary hues of blue, which bring this energy, which I absolutely adore. Kim, my producer, knows how much I love green onyx, hence why she'll always try and put new strands or bundles or star buys of this gemstone into the show, because I can just, she hears me get excited about it, and hopefully, Kim, no, it's one of those. it's one of those where you think, okay, onyx, yeah, you've seen it, Jewellery Makers. I know you've seen onyx on a regular basis. I know you've seen black onyx. You've seen variations, but there's no comparison other than, there's no comparison in terms of the green gemstones out there to green onyx.
No, nothing glows.
No.
Like we said about the pink quartz, that glow from within,
it's unique.
It's just beautiful when it glows.
Do you know what it reminds me of? This is the romance of green onyx to me, in my eyes, in my head. Who's seen Great Gatsby, the film? Yeah? Or read the book? Read the book. What he's longing for, his ultimate lust, his ultimate desire is her, isn't it? It is her. Who symbolises her? It's the green light across the bay. To me, if you've seen the film, the movie, wonderful film by the way, I think so anyway, with Leonardo DiCaprio, it's like a green onyx green across the bay. Do you agree with me?
It is, yeah. It is.
To me, it is her. It's the romance of her, his desire, his want for her. It always reminds me of it. I have to bring that price tag in. It glows like no other. You have got here 30 centimetres of faceted rondelles at just $6.95. I don't think you need to do anything to this. Just restrand it like so.
Look beautiful with the opals, though.
Oh, it would look amazing with the opals.
Backdrop to those opals. I've only got one strand of green onyx at home, and I haven't used them because I just get them out and look at them, and mine are like pear drops but unfaceted. That's because they've got the facets on them. They're absolutely beautiful because they're catching the light as well.
Yeah, they do. You get the surface luster as well, that semi-translucency, that beautiful secondary hue of blue coming through. Amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'll always get passionate and a little bit hot under the collar about green onyx. A little bit like Leonardo DiCaprio really in the film. Love it, love it, love it. Lots of you choosing to multi-buy. Yeah, this on a memory wire bracelet. Simple as, so beautiful. Stay where you are. Now we have got the deal of the day coming your way straight after the break. Just for those of you that are thinking, what is it? I haven't seen it. It is one of your most requested storage bags that we have commissioned. Not just this though, you've also got all of these beautiful findings, which I'll bring them into shot for you as well. All of these findings and your threading materials, you've got toggles, you've got shepherd hooks, you've got extenders in the 3 different tones and colours here as well. Your bag, I love this, and I want to get this actually, not just for my jewellery making, but want to get it for other crafts that I actually get involved in as well. Comes with a shoulder strap, etc. Loads to bring you. More from the gorgeous Fleur, of course, your designer inspiration, and it will be sellout kits, of course they will. It is the steampunk weekend, so lots of colours that we can use, lots of components that we can use. We all think, and you're right to have pointed this out earlier on, Fleur, that we all think of clock conchs and things like that, don't we, with steampunk? But actually it spans across lots of different eras.
Yeah. Sammy was the one that told me. So if you've got any questions about steampunk, Sammy Fletcher's the one for
There
you.
we go. Do make sure you tune in because the deal of the day is up after this.
You can now book Jewellery Maker workshops online. Just head over to our Jewellery Maker website and click on the workshop link. We have a wide range of workshops from beginner to intermediate, covering a variety of mediums. Once you have found a workshop you'd like to attend, simply click on the Book Now button. Fill in the required fields and then press Continue. This will take you through to the payment page. If you have any questions, you can contact our workshop coordinator Wendy at any time by emailing workshop@jewellerymaker.com. We look forward to seeing you. Jewellery Maker course gift vouchers are now available. You can choose from a bronze, silver or gold voucher. Each voucher is worth a different amount that entitles you to put towards a course of your choice. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Jewellery Maker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information. We are live every day from 8 AM to 9 PM. So come and join in and get creating with Jewellery Maker.
Wow, 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 you are getting so much here. We're going to go instantaneously into what your should-be price is on the screen. Now, it's a lucky dip pack. This is an example. Sorry, I can't get my words out. I'm that excited about the deal of the day. This is an example, but obviously you get the tote bag with all of the different compartments, which I'll show you around in a second, just in case it's the first time that you've seen that. It always sells out. We've got 200 in terms of its quantity. Now 200 is meant to last us across the entirety of the day. I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to last past this morning show, to be truthful. It's going already. Now within the actual lucky dip, I've got here toggles, I've got shepherd hooks, I've got extenders, I've got chains, and I've got your threading material. You might have you know, jump rings, etc. You might have you're guaranteed findings, clasps, and also your earrings, and it's adding up to hundreds of them in such variations, as you can see, and your threading material of your beading thread, your clear elastic, and also your monofilament. So essentials, great stash replenisher, great for all of the newcomers as well, because storage is something that we do kind of, well, I think initially we underestimate and we don't appreciate the need until you start. And I do mean literally just start in jewellery making, because the findings, the gemstones, the tools that you will progressively build up, you know, end up spreading themselves around the house somewhat. So this is the kind of storage container that we all long for. Every single guest designer that comes into the studio has got this storage bag or this tote bag or something very, very, very similar. There are numerous reviews on FIFO, as you can see. Anonymous and Tinyware, love it. I can put everything I need for a project in a bag, so I'm really organised and nothing gets lost. Exactly. Jeanette in Yorkshire says, useful bag, will be able to fit all my tools and gems whilst on the move. Well constructed bag and very firm. It is really rigid as well, so you'll see that when I actually show you around. We could show you hundreds of reviews. Now, we've got loads we can share with you. It does actually have the actual adjustable shoulder strap. So those of you that don't like to hold it in hand, like it over the shoulder, then you have got this adjustable strap, and it is adjustable, so the buckle itself. It is hardened, as you saw by one of the FIFO reviews there, so there is a rigidity to it. Is that a word? Yeah, well, it is now. A rigidity to the actual bag itself, to the structure. If I just go around the exterior, obviously it is our lovely colourful branding. Every single one of these compartments, you've got Velcro here, so that's going to house lots of components or whatever it is, or tools, or multiples of. This is a zip compartment, so some are slightly bigger. This is the entire length of the actual tote bag. Move around again, you've got another duo of Velcro fastenings here. Again, look, you've got connectors, so that's really handy for attaching various different things too. I've seen tools attached to these. I've seen other storage bags attached to these as well, and they do actually come off. Behind that, again, there's another zip, so you can see, making the most of all the available space. If I turn or tilt this forward, I don't know if you can actually see in there, it's sectioned off, so it is actually sectioned off down the centre. Can you see that? Move my hand up the way. There we go. So you can actually see the section, and on just one of the sides, and I'll try and turn it that way, can you see that? There's also areas where you can put more tools in. So we have really designed this for its practicality sense, but there are only 200 of them available. So with all of the findings that you're getting, with our lovely tote bag, which I know Linda Brumwell will be saying, it's great for wine and champagne too. You can fit 4 bottles in there. I think Linda tested it actually.
And it's got a sturdy handle.
It has got a sturdy handle. Great value, great quality, and loads of room, Jennifer in Staffordshire. I want to know how many people actually say about the wine. Because I reckon I'd think of that one. Under usual circumstances, obviously, I've been making the most of it. Not at the moment. Lincolnshire is saying this is roomy and well-made bag with lots of pockets for storing the jewellery making essentials. Good value and an attractive design. I love our branding. Yeah. I keep going on about our branding every time I bring you these bags, because I do generally think it's catchy, it's fun, it's uplifting. Kim, great idea. Not for the baby. little mini Elle in there. It's good for Brutus, the puppy. He'd fit in there, little compartment. That's a great idea for the baby.
It is. They make fabulous changing bags.
And do you know the price of changing bags? I haven't bought mine yet. I was looking well, don't say it, I almost did. On that very well-known baby style shop. You're talking blooming about £80 for a changing bag. £80. It's a bag with a little bit of a mat inside, for heaven's sake. I'll buy the mat and roll it up and put it in here. Now, should be £43.35 for the tote bag and all of those lovely findings. Again, multiples of as an added bonus. So you're getting how many packs? How many packs of findings? 50 different types of findings, so 50 individuals. So you might have 15, one type of a toggle, then another type of toggle, and another type of toggle. You might have one type of shepherd hook or another type of shepherd hook. 50 individual packs. And of course your threading material. Should be $43.35. There are just 200 of these. The deal of the day is meant to last out across the entirety of the day, but I don't think it will. I really don't. Hang on a minute. Who said about the baby bag? Kim. It was Kim, wasn't it? Was it Kim? I'm sure it was Kim. Kim, I can buy 4. Well, certainly 3 for the price of one baby bag. Yeah, great idea, Kim. I think that's fab.
Do you know what's so nice about our branding as well is if you do venture out to do a craft table or summer fete or something like that, and it's very nerve-wracking because you're putting your pieces of jewellery on show for people to buy. If you see somebody else with a Jewellery Maker bag, you instantly feel relieved that you've got like a partner in crime, if you like. You know, you've got somebody who's got something in common.
A vested interest.
That's it. You both watch Jewellery Maker, so you both can have something to talk about, and you can like help each other, because it is nerve-wracking when you first start.
Yeah, I get that.
So that can be sort of like your badge of saying, I watch Jewellery Maker, I buy, you know, genuine
It's
gemstones.
like a club, isn't it? Because we are like a club, I suppose. It's like a big family at the end of the day. Yeah, good point. And because it is so vibrant, you do recognise it instantaneously, and that's your conversation starter straight away. Now, 50 are in baskets already, 50. So please, please, please do check out. I can't see the names at the moment. Have we got? Is my tablet working? I will say, obviously, hello to every single one of you as well as... Oh, okay, maybe I won't. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I simply cannot say hello to every single one of you because there's loads of you there. But you know what? We knew that this was going to be a busy auction. We knew the deal of the day was going to be popular. I wish we had more. I wish we had more. 200 is not nearly enough. Yeah, but I agree with you there. It's that vested interest. It's that branding, which I think is really, really colourful and cheerful and uplifting. It's professionalism as well, because I'm also thinking about the fact that when you go, if you've got a business or you do commissions, which many of our guest designers do, many of our jewellery maker friends do as well, you know, you can put specific projects, also specific mediums. So for example, one of these tote bags might be for your chainmail, one might be for your kumhimo, one might be for your macrame, one might be for, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they make great knitting bags as well, and crochet bags. Because they're deep and they've got solid sides. You can keep everything in there.
I need to get my mum one.
Yeah, they're great for. I got my mum this one because of that reason.
My mum loves her knitting. She's great at knitting as well, so that's a really good present for my mum. Stock permitting, obviously. Get it whilst you can. Get it whilst you can. Incredible. Now we're going to go straight into our beautiful kit with designer inspiration with the wonderful Fleur. Now, let's just say again, the first kit sold out. The one and only chance I've had to bring you bare copper sold out. This has bare copper. Now, you have got opal, labradorite, stamping blanks, loads of jump rings.
Wires in there as well.
Wires. 1,000 crimp beads. 1,000. Can I just say, hang on a minute. Big up to our lovely Claire. Did you take that photo, Claire? Did you take 1,000 crimps and individually place them? She didn't. She didn't have to do that. But yes, there's 1,000 in total. I'd be well impressed if you had. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now, just to give you a heads up, there should be prices on your screens. This is the variation of jump rings. You're getting loads of wire as well. So here's the wire that you're getting in your bare copper and your blank stamps too. And beautiful gemstones. Now, ooh, labradorite, opal. Let's show you all the wonderful pieces of jewellery that our Fleur has created. Love this. It's already selling out, by the way. Already sold as expected. I will break it down to how many you're getting of everything as well. I love that bracelet, Fleur.
They're 3 little individual little bangles, yeah. So you just slip onto your hand.
I love that. Live, laugh, love.
They're so simple to make as well, and because you've got the stamping blanks, I didn't want to do charms with them. I wanted to make them part of a
And I'm betting there's loads of people who are watching right now who are just getting or about due, or maybe had a couple yesterday or something like that, the actual blanking stamps. Yeah. Because they were on show with myself and Sarah Elvin the other day. So yeah, and I bet you're desperate to get hold of all sort of things like this. Amazing. Again, look at this. Now you've just showed me this bracelet, haven't you?
Yeah.
This is what you were saying, oxidised with heat.
With heat. So the bracelet and the ring have been oxidised with heat. The 2 bracelets on the end have been oxidised with liver of sulphur. And then because I don't touch the chainmail when I'm making the chainmail, only my pliers touch them, which is why the chainmail, earrings and necklace have stayed so beautiful and copper, like bright shiny copper, because I've got my oils from my skin, haven't touched them.
I'm loving that bracelet on the far right. That really chunky bracelet.
That's the one that we're going to do. We're going
Is
to do
it?
That weave, yeah.
I'm loving that. Fantastic. Michelle is saying a kit full of my favourite things. Yeah, you're not alone there. Let's show you everything that you are getting, because there's loads and loads. Starting with your gorgeous wire. So you have got 3 different gauges. 10 meters of each. Your 0.8, sorry, your 1.5 millimeter, which is this one here. As you can see, it's a lot sort of denser, a lot wider in its gauge. 0.8 and your 0.4. These are, you know, very versatile gauges. Now, for anybody that struggles with wire work, maybe with dexterity issues, because sometimes copper wire, well, copper wire is that bit harder, isn't it? It's that little bit stronger. Give either the soft aluminium or the soft copper or the bare copper a go, because the bare copper is a lot more malleable, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's had no coatings on it at all, so it's had no metals put over, no precious metal put over the top, no e-coating put over the top. It is just the pure copper.
Just the pure copper, so it is that bit easier to work with. Now, here is also the beautiful stamps that you get alongside. You've got, how many of your stamps? 5 of those, all little dog collars. They are quite like that, aren't they? So you've seen Fleur do the live, love and laugh bracelets, but they could be earrings. Again, gents jewellery. They could be anything really.
They make great bookmarks and key rings as well.
That's
so
a good idea.
Personalised key rings, things like
That's a really good idea. And all of these gorgeous crimps. Now, look, I won't tip them out because bless Amelia, she works hard anyway, so I'm not going to tip all of these out. But as you can see, there is 1,000 crimp tubes, which are 2 millimeter in size, and they are your bare copper as well. But still not done, because we've also got all of these jump rings. Now, 100 of your 5 mil, 100 of your 7 mil, and 200 of your 9 millimeter. So the 3 different sizes. Shall I get some of these onto a tweezer so you can actually see? In the bare copper, so no coating again, so you can oxidize these beautifully. I'm just fishing them onto the jump rings, onto the tweezers rather, sorry, so that you can see the different dimensions. In total, how many jump rings have we got? 400 in total, so that's a good few bracelets there. Well, as you can see, you've made some multiple pieces of jewellery there, Fleur, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
And also your gorgeous gemstones. And it's not £49.50. Now, Labradescence, said it was one of your favourites, Fleur. Plain rondelles, which just look amazing with bare copper. And your opal, just pop that by there for a second. Gorgeous opal, white opal as well, really crisp colour. Gosh, I haven't seen white opal like this.
And when you hold it up to the light, you've got some really beautiful glow.
£29.95. Just because we've mentioned the white opal, I'd pay that for the white opal. The Labradescence that you're seeing across the entirety of those rondelles, £29.95 without shadow of a doubt. For 30 metres of bare copper wire, for 400 jump rings, for the stamps, for the actual 1,000 crimps. Now, those of you that are shopping with us on the web, yes, you do get the labradite. I know it's not on the specifications, apologies for that. You do definitely get the labradite. You can take that from myself, my own word. You have got in total the white opal 85 carats, stunning, such a crisp linen white colour as well, which there's so few white gemstones out there.
I've never seen a white opal before I had this kit, and I was mesmerised by it.
Yeah, well, even like, you know, your Cuba PDs and your Lightning Ridge opals, they're a little bit, they're a milky colour. They are milky, but a little bit more yellowish, I suppose, and off-white. This is a definite white. Definite white, and it goes right the way up to 13 by 7 millimeters. I haven't got on my specifications the carat weights of the labradite. We'll just tell you those, obviously, because it's not on the website. £29.95 for everything that you see here. The labradite you're getting 95 carats of, and And it's a 27 centimetre strand, so they are really big, beautiful, substantial individual solitaires as well. And you've actually sort of singled the labradorite out in a sort of a rosary link to capitalise on the labradescence as well there, Fleur.
Because you've got these beautiful crimps, I've used my crimps, like we were saying before about the 9 carat gold crimps, I've actually used them as spaces on my necklace. So instead of like bunching all the labradorite together, I've elongated them out with the crimps, and which means you can use them a lot more sparingly as well, because you've got that beautiful expanse.
Well, making a feature of them, because they are really pretty as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
I've taken a wander over to the lovely Fleur, because again you've got big pieces here, teaming and combining wire work with your chain mail, with general beading, so there is a real combination of techniques here. In terms of quantity, have we got many, Kim? Okay, Kim says, be warned, it's looking like it's going to be a sellout very quickly. So check out. Is that because it's the bare copper?
I think so, yeah. Because you can do so much with the bare copper. You can, like we said, you can colour it, we can age it. It's so lovely to work with, and it's great for steampunk because it has got that more, I don't like saying industrial look, but it's like the more colours that you tend to associate with steampunk jewellery. And it has got, like you said, that
bit more industrial, I suppose.
Industrial look to it. But also as well, you can keep it so beautiful and shiny just with a little bit of product. I know a couple of days ago we had some Renaissance wax on. We'll talk about Renaissance wax in a minute, of how you can keep these colours. So if you have used some heat to apply your copper into a different colour, and while I had my heat gun out, my blowtorch out, I just popped it over my reel of wire, and you can see what beautiful reds.
I was going to say, it's a pinkish colour, isn't it?
So I've got some pinks and reds.
Love that. I've never seen that done before. Never ever seen that before. So actually using the heat itself, and you said about using...
It's like a creme brulee torch, so if you've got the VersaFlame or the Stingray that's on the website, and you just literally just keep chasing the colours around, and when it heats up, you'll see the colours like oil on water, and you can chase them around and then create the colours.
I'm going to give that a go, because I've not done that before.
Then if you do it on a heat brick, or if you haven't got a heat-proof surface, it has to be on a heat-proof surface because obviously you're using a flame, and then you can keep the colour by using your Renaissance wax.
Fabulous. So what is it that you're going to demonstrate?
We're going to demonstrate it's called Kinged Viperarius, and it's the bracelet that the chunky one on the end
the one that I'm that one right there, the one I'm fancying.
That's the one, yeah.
So what's it called again? Sorry,
Kinged Viperarius.
Right, cool.
Yeah, got a cool name.
That is cool, yeah.
And anything that says kinged in the title means there's 2 jump rings gone in the same place.
Okay.
So if it says kinged, it means there's two rings in place.
Fabulous.
So
how do we do this kinged viper? It's gone already.
Various. Kinged Viperarius.
Various. Right,
catchy name. So what we need to start with is a chain of 2 into 2. Okay, so all I've done is I've linked 2 jump rings. Two jump rings into 2 jump rings, and I just use different colours so you can see them here. But we're using the 9mm jump rings for this. On the earrings, I've used the 7mm jump rings, but you can only do a little bit of that because it gets too tight and the weave won't actually move around. But for the 9mm jump rings, it creates that beautiful bracelet. And it does take quite a few of your jump rings up, so it is quite
well, you don't have to worry, mine, because you've got loads.
200 in there, so you can see I've done 2 bracelets out of those 200. And I could have done a little bit less on one bracelet and popped some more into earrings. So right, so the way that this starts, it starts like one that we've done before called double cloud cover. Now the way that it starts, I'm going to try and hold it so that you can see. So what we need is the yellow jump rings to be facing me. So if we go back to that portrait and landscape style again. So we need these yellow jump rings to be facing myself, okay? Or facing upwards. So I might have to lift this up a little bit. So if I place it on my hand, you should be able to see it, okay? So I'm going to take my first open jump ring, and I'm going to look at my first 3 sets, and I'm going to work on number 3 and number 1, okay? So we always have a little wire handle at the top because we're going to twist this weave. It's one that twists around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through number 3 jump ring, okay, that pair there. I'm now going to twist the chain till it can't twist anymore because number 2 pair has stopped it twisting anymore, and I'm now going to pop this open jump ring up into the first pair. So I've gone through number 3 and into number 1, okay, and close. Now because we said this was a kinged one, we're now going to put another jump ring in that space. So that jump ring's now locked it in place for me, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm now just going to go through exactly the same space, so number 3 up to number 1. So I've got my first pair of jump rings in place, okay? So now you can see that I've put these on to the right hand side, and I've got a little triangle appeared on the left hand side. What I'm going to do now is turn my work over so that the pair that I've just added are on my left side, and the little triangle that's sticking out is on the right side. I'm now going to move down to the next pair of jump rings that have got no other jump rings going through them, so nothing that's locked in place. So these ones here, I've got the purple jump rings going through. So this black pair here have got nothing going through them side to side, if you like. So I'm now going to take my next jump ring, I'm going to go through that 4th pair. I'm now going to twist the chain again till it won't twist anymore, so that number 3 is blocking it, if you like, and I'm going to go through the second pair. So you're always working on like an odd or an even number. So you can see now how that one's gone in. You see there. Okay, so that one's gone into there. So it's gone through number 5 into number 4 into number 2. So again, because it's kinged, I'm going to pop another jump ring in that place. Now, if you've seen me do double cloud cover, that in effect is a section of double cloud cover.
Okay, now if anyone's thinking, what, sorry? A double cloud cover is another type of weave.
Yeah. So it's just another weave. So like we were saying before, because there's so many weaves, it's basically like a double cloud cover is that section, but when we start adding more to it, it changes its name to a different name. Okay. That's why there's so many jump ring weaves.
Yeah.
So now I've added these 2 in now. So now what I'm going to do is turn it over. And what I need to do is I'm always going to work on the right hand side. So I always need, if I just lift that up, can you see how the lowest ones down are always on the left? Sorry, so on my left, so is that your right, isn't it? So they're always on this side. So I'm going to work down onto this side here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my next pair of 3 jump rings. So these ones have got jump rings going through them, so this one here is my next pair. Okay, so I'm now going to go with my jump ring and I'm going to go through that pair. Now this, what's going to effectively happen, these jump rings are going to fold to there.
So you're kind of skipping one, aren't you?
Yeah, so you just skip one, so you skip one and go, so you always miss. So when you're working on your odd number, so I'm in number 5 now here, so I need to now go to number 3.
Yeah.
So I've missed out number 4. Now the way that we add these jump rings in is we're going to go through, can you see where they cross over? So where the purple and the yellow cross over, the purple's on the top and the yellow's on the bottom. Okay, so you can see that if I just move those other ones out of the way, you can see where they cross over. I'm now going to pop this jump ring through that gap, so through the purple and through the yellow. Okay, and close that one up. So now that jump ring is now sitting on the inside of the previous purple pair. And now, because it's kinged, we're going to pop another jump ring through that space. So through my 5th pair, go up to that purple and through the yellow as well. So I'm connecting this chain up sideways and folding it, if you like, underneath. So if I just hold it up now, you can see how it's folded underneath. So it's moved up a little bit up to the section. Now, because I've done this side, I now need to turn my chain around so that this stays on the opposite side again. So I'm now going to turn it around, and again, I'm going to work on what is my right hand side. Okay.
Can I just say there's 51 in baskets.
Wow.
53 in baskets and 17 remaining.
that doesn't add up, does it?
And we can't materialise any more, unfortunately. That's all we've got. So if you please check out as soon. We can't hold any back. We can't do that. We can't allocate just because someone said it's in my basket. It is first come, first serve. So if 16 people are on the phone lines right now, they're gone. They're gone. Sold out. So 53. Is that still the case? Still 53. There we go. And 16 remain. Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to emphasise just how oversubscribed we are.
So, seeing as you've got the bracelet there, Elle, can I just show how? Can you see the sides? So all these ones that are going in and out on the sides. Can you see the pairs that are just zigzagging in and out? So 2 are closed, 2 are together, and 2 are apart. Then together and apart. If I show you what I mean.
Yeah.
So these here, so you can see these jump rings and these are the ones that we're adding in at the moment. So the ones that go like that, so in, out. So one's higher, one's lower, one's higher, one's lower. So it's sort of like steps either side.
Yep.
And then it pulls together, so you've got opposite sides then. You've got 2 pairs together, 2 pairs apart, 2 pairs together, 2 pairs apart.
Okay.
That's what we're doing at the moment. So we're going to move to our next pair down. So again, we look for our next free pair, so which is here. Okay, so this one's got nothing going through it, so I'm going to go through that pair of jump rings, and I'm now going to do exactly the same. So I now look to my right hand side, I go through the purple jump rings first, and then through the black jump rings that were folded up previously. So it's just basically the cross. Where they meet, I'm going to go underneath all 4 and close that one up. And then pop another jump ring in there because it's that kinged style. So that's now one whole layer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it again. So again, I need this to be the lowest section down on my left hand side. So I'm now going to turn it over. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. Now can you see that these 2 here are touching? Okay, they're very close together, and this one's far apart. So I need my next one to sit on the outside of this pair. And the way that we get that to happen is we move again down to our next free pair. If I just twist it, there we go. So our next free pair is here, so the yellow side. I'm going to go through those yellow jump rings. If I can pick the jump ring up, that is, come here. Now, instead of going through the purple and then the yellow, that will then keep it on the inside. I need to go on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the yellow first and then the purple. So it's the opposite to what I've just done. And as you can see on the side, you can see how it's starting to crisscross down.
Am I right in saying that this is one of the harder weaves? It is. Or is it just me?
No, it is. It's not hard.
I don't mind admitting it. I'm struggling to digest this.
Okay.
That's why YouTube, great. Look back on YouTube.
If you look at where the pattern, because it's just a continuous pattern, but because this pattern's going to change, it's going to alternate. So that one's lower, this one's higher, this one's going to be lower again. So I'm just going to pop this other jump ring in. Then when we do the next one on the other side, hopefully that'll
sink in. It is still repetition.
It's all repetition, but every layer, so you do 2 of that weave and then you swap back to the crossing over the different way.
Ah, okay.
So that's the only difference. So you just keep crossing it a different way.
Right.
So I'm now going to turn it over. So again, I need this one to sit on the outside. So I'm going to go to my next free pair. And now this one is going to go through that free pair. Now, because I want it to sit on the outside here, I need to go through the black jump rings first and then the purple jump rings. Okay, so I'm going to go through the black jump rings and then the purple
So
jump
is it
rings.
the order that the jump rings are kind of presenting themselves?
Yes, yeah, so when you want it to sit on the outside, so when you want that jump ring to sit on the outside, you need to go the cross from the initial chain first and then to the one that you've added previously. When you want it to sit on the inside, we do it the opposite way. So I'll just quickly pop that one in. And like I say, it's a lot more complex, if you like.
It's probably me, Fleur, to be fair.
No. So now when I look at this one now, I need my next pair here, because I've turned my chain over, because this one's my lowest one down. So my next one, I want to sit on the inside of this pair here. Because can you see how that one's out, that one's in, and that one's out?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to bring this in right now, because we're going to sell out of that kit. I'm loving this. I'm literally glued, literally glued. Please don't go any further because we do want to go on with this. It's your ring mandrel, because you had the blanks and you were saying about shaping them, about which you'd actually need. This is the ring mandrel. If I actually hold it like this, you can actually see how it tapers. So obviously you can go from sort of different sizes, from a childlike size right the way up to sort of an adult. You actually mentioned that you use the mandrel within this kit.
Yeah, definitely. So the 3 bangles that are there with the live, life and love on them, what I did is I took my my little stamping blank and I just placed another hole with we've got these wonderful little things, little punches, punched a hole in it, bent it, and then all I did was pop the 1.5 wire through the holes and wrapped it around the mandrel and then fastened it back through the stamping blank.
So literally positioned it like this?
Yeah.
And then curved it round, basically?
Curved it round and then popped the wire through, so I can really quickly show you if you want.
Yeah, please do, please do.
So all I've used my my bracelet bending ones, which I think we have got on the website, and you just literally give it a squish so it follows the shape of your wrist. And then let me just move that out of the way, take a little section of my 1.5 wire, and then all I need to do is cut that. So take a little bit more than you need, pop a little loop on the end, so just an open loop. So all I'm doing is really far down, really far down my pliers, do an open loop, and just straighten it back up, open this one loop up, pop on my little blank to start with, twisting away. Why is it always easier at home? There we go. So pop that on there, bend that back together. Then all I did was take the end of the wire, pop it through there, and then shape it around your mandrel. So if you put my mandrel down there, pull it tight.
And the bare copper, is that soft? It will easily just pull round, won't it?
Yeah, it just pulls round. You just move it round, bend it back, and then you would cut that little section there and make your other wrapped loop. And there you've got, and it's not central, but you get the idea. But there you've got now that's how you make your little.
I have this oval, the oval one, and it's fab. Much more natural shape for your wrist than the round one, and a great price. Absolutely. It's true, because we're not round, are we?
No, and a lot.
You know, if I hold it like this, so maybe if I show you down the barrel, I suppose you can see that it is oval. So it's wrist shape.
Yeah.
Wrist shape. Let's bring that price tag in for you. Solid wood as well, so you can very easily hammer onto this. £9.95 only, and tapered as well. So you've got the variation of sizes, and you've got the wrist line shape too itself. I totally agree with you. Yeah, we're not perfectly circular, are we? We have got that. Well, our wrists are generally oval, aren't they?
But when you pop on a bangle as well, a lot of people struggle to get a round bangle over this part of their hand.
Yeah.
Whereas an oval bangle, it's got more chance to go on because it's that oval shape of your hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does make sense that, and just £10 only for solid wood, and it's beautiful wood too. In this lovely mandrel, get it whilst you can. Fabulous. And again, you can hammer onto these. Can't you?
I hammered those onto there as well. So that just shows you really quickly how it all just came together. So they're so fast to make, those little bangles.
Love it.
They're really good. So
pretty much sold out, by the way. Okay. Now, little O-rings. Oh, I like these. We've got some lovely jewellery to make. We will come back to it, I promise you. I've never seen these before. Little rubber junk rings.
You can make stretchy chainmail if you want.
Stretchy chainmail. Now, obviously you can't cut them because they are little donuts of rubber, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Or O-rings, as they've been referred to here. You've got 4 different colours: black, white, blue and brown, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
These are 6mm in their measurements. 6mm in their measurements. So you use these like a stretchy bracelet, maybe?
Yeah, you could do, or if you want to, when you want to use them, if I get my needle nose pliers, what you can do is put your needle nose pliers in and open your pliers up so it stretches it, and then you can weave it into your, so you obviously where it says, you can only use these where it says add a closed jump ring, because like I say, you can't cut them.
Yeah.
So something like a European 4-in-1 is absolutely perfect, because you can just add them in and it then will stretch.
I love that idea. Do you know what? I think these are great for great gents jewellery. Again, I'd wear these without shadow of a doubt. I think kids would love them too. The fact that they have got that lovely softness to them, they're going to be comfortable to wear. Just on some clear elastic, I think they'd be great stretchy bracelets or charm bracelets.
I don't know who's made this jewellery, but I love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Anne has made these, so yeah, beautiful. Again, I'd wear all of the above as well. Fantastic. Loads of you are getting involved. Loads and loads and loads of you. So those of you that are new to chainmail, you can use these in chainmail, but you have to add it when it says add a closed jump ring.
Yeah. So if in your recipe it says add a closed jump ring, then
it's this.
You can add these.
Add your donuts.
Yeah. Yep.
They're not donuts, but you know what I mean. You're getting 100 of each colour, 6mm in their diameter, should be £15.80. Should be. However, not today. I reckon you could probably get a full 360 bracelet out of each of those colours at least, just on stretchy on clear elastic.
Yeah.
You know, how your kids would love making jewellery with these.
They're based very loosely on like the loom band craze that was around when. So these are a lot smaller though, so they're not as large as those, but they're more robust, if you like. They are great for making. Lots of people I know make chainmail with these stretchy O-rings, so that it just slips. You know, you don't got no clasps involved.
No, exactly, easy to wear. And again, you could wear them in the ear because they're light, they're lightweight, they're not heavy. Wear them as stretchy rings as well. Stretchy rings. Macrame, you can macrame with these, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. You could do Mark's goddess style with these on elastic, and then it would all stretch.
Oh, I love that
So
idea.
yeah, you could have a real stretchy goddess style bracelet.
A stretchy goddess.
Yeah.
Sounds fab, doesn't it? It does, absolutely. Loving the colours. Congratulations. Do stay where you are, and we will get back to this. Can you remind me what it's called again, Fleur?
Kinged Viper Barius.
Kinged Viper Barius.
That's it.
There we go. This is what we're making. And listen, I'm grossly watching. I'm absolutely engrossed is the word.
Grossed out watching. She said she liked chainmail.
I'm absolutely engrossed. That's what I meant to say, Fleur. So sorry. And because I want to absorb this, I do, and I've never seen this link previously before.
I've done it once before, but it was it must have been about 7 months ago, and I did it before. So if I just hold that there now, can we see? If I just pull that down a little bit, there we go. So can we see that these two jump rings are now facing outwards, but the ones previous are facing inwards, so it's starting to get that zigzag down. So my next pair of jump rings needs to actually go on the inside of these two. So when I go on the inside, I need to go through the purple ones first and then the yellow ones afterwards. So I go to my next free pair of jump rings, go through that pair of jump rings, and then up onto the inside, through the purple, and then through the gold, and close. And again, just pop another jump ring in there just to keep the pattern going. So through the purple and then through the gold. Now if I hold that out now, you can see now that pair that I just added now are emulating this pair. So they're now facing inwards. Okay, so I'm now going to turn it over, and I need to have my next pair facing inwards as well. So in effect, this pair of black jump rings is now going to go to there, but with the connecting jump rings on the inside. So take my last pair of connecting jump rings, go through my next free pair, up to the purple, through the purple jump rings first, and then through the black jump rings second. So it is just alternating it either way, and it does take a few times to get this weave, but it's such a lovely weave.
It really
and you
is.
really find that people do when I've had this one for sale before, these are one of the ones that goes first because it looks substantial. It looks a real substantial weave.
I can imagine. I mean, I gravitated to it straight away.
Yeah.
I love chainmail, but you can see the weight there, can't you?
Yeah, you can. So if I just hold that up now, you can see how they start to go in and out. So one's higher, one's lower, one's higher, one's lower.
Yeah, alternating.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, my lovely. I've definitely learned something today, and I'm going to be rewatching this as well on YouTube to get to master that as well. Fantastic. So if you want to make maybe more your gent style, or you like your chunky jewellery, I'd wear this. Then this is a great weave. Now we're going to bring you a triple back-to-back bundle opportunity of jump rings. So these more jump rings. Yeah, absolutely. Now these are. Let me just double check. This is your double twist, and I've got some which are open cut as well. These are closed, but again, there's nothing stopping you opening these at all. They're like little Mobius rings.
They are like fused Mobius rings.
Yes.
All the work's been done for you already.
I've got 99. I've left my tweezers over there. I've got 99 of these available. So thank you, Maggie, my lovely. They are limited. If you got those fancy jump rings at the very first thing this morning, gosh, doesn't that seem like literally 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, it does.
It does, doesn't it? The show's absolutely flown. These would look beautiful with that.
They would. I love all these textured ones that we've got. These ones, like you say, they are like your Mobius ring, so all the work's been done for you.
Yeah.
And because they're a solid unit as well, so they're not cut. You know, you can put quite a lot of weight onto those. Again, like we said before, you can make your lariat style with some
necklaces,
nice delicate chains going through the middle.
Resin,
polymer
clay, use them for that. Yeah, fabulous. Again, steampunk, absolutely.
Yeah.
Without shadow of a doubt, maybe use your little sort of keepsakes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see these with the actual little rubber jump rings that you've just seen there. I think they could be quite quirky.
Yeah.
And again, used as rings. They are complete rings ultimately. You're going to get 50 in a pack, and they measure 18 millimetres in their diameter. They've got that high shine, high beautiful luster, and there's nothing stopping you opening these if you wanted to with your saw cut or whatever methods that you actually use. Should be £12.95. Not today. Not today. 3 back-to-back jump ring opportunities. These are the only ones that I actually have of these double. This is limited, very low stock, so it's going to be first come, first serve. £9.95.
Wow.
Again, just one on a lariat necklace would be so beautiful.
Yeah.
And a length of chain.
That's all you need, isn't it? That's all you need is one length of chain with a little chain tassel to go through to make that lariat style, make that feature at the front.
And that's what the lariat is. A lariat necklace is basically there's no fastening, is there?
There's no fastening.
It's gravity that actually holds it more than anything.
Yeah.
I can remember we did that lariat show together, actually.
Yeah, we did all the chains.
Yeah, these would have, well, they're flying now, but they would have sold out within seconds probably on that show. So you just need a length of chain, or maybe a lengths, if you want, plural, to fall through the centre of that beautiful ring. Well done. Let's move on because there's more. Now, these are, there's only 30. It's not enough, is it? These are open jump rings as well. This detail.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, can I show you the texture of these? Texture, texture. Look at the pattern that you'll get. You couldn't replicate this, I don't think. I think you'd really be hard pushed.
Yeah, you'd squash the wire. But we have got reels of wire
with
this pattern as well now. So if you wanted to do chain,
it's like the damask, isn't it? Old Moroccan pattern. Moroccan. There we go. It is. Yeah. And it's 360 degrees all the way around. You have to bring the price tag in straight away. £6.95, and you're getting 50. They are 2 millimetre in thickness. That's talking about the diameter of the actual silver-plated. Is this silver-plated copper? Yeah, looks like it. And 12 millimetre in terms of its diameter.
Yeah, it's outer diameter. Yeah.
Amazing. I've got to move on. There's only 30 of those. They're fab, aren't they? Next one, there's only 20 of. They're open cut jump rings again. Again, texture all the way around. That's so hard to do if you think about it. The insides, the curves.
Yeah.
Really
if you
tricky.
try to do that yourself, you just flatten all the wire.
Yeah.
You'd end up with lots of flat wire rather than lots of nice round sections of wire.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's pointless trying to do
Yeah,
it, isn't it? Absolutely. £5.95 gone straight in just because we've only got 20. Only got 20 of these. Again, it's the Moroccan pattern, but you can see it's a slightly thinner gauge and diameter.
Yeah, it's crazy that we can buy the wire, but it's cheaper to buy the jump rings already made rather than make them yourself. So much cheaper to.
That's true.
Because buy the reel of wire, then to coil them, get your mandrels to coil it, then to cut them with your saw, and then to clean them up afterwards. It's cheaper just to buy them like that.
Well, I might as well save yourself the time then as well. Okay. Oh gosh, there's only 27 of these. If you do run out of jump rings, and say you missed out on those just now, and you've got the Moroccan wire and you want to make the Moroccan jump rings, you can do that.
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Using this.
Yeah, so these make your oval jump rings. So this is your oval jump ring mandrel. It creates 3 different sizes of jump rings, and it's so simple to use.
Well, if I can figure it out, then anyone can. Yeah, basically you get a piece of Perspex here, which again got the protective wrapper there for those of you that were with me on Thursday, and I was talking about leaving the protective wrappers. It was Claire. She leaves a protective wrapper on a sandbag, and I was like, peel it off, peel it off, peel it off.
Well, she's coming around next Thursday. I'm going to take it off.
Do you know what, Claire? Just for you. Is Claire watching? Just for you, peeling this wrapper off. I'm peeling it off. I should have perhaps not done that at first. There are only 27 of these first, but I'm peeling it off. I just don't care. I just don't care. So basically, you corkscrew your wire around it, don't you?
Yeah, so it's basically like a gizmo rod, if you like.
Yeah.
And then the blue plate is like your gizmo handle.
Yeah.
So you just swirl it around and hold the wire quite tight, and then just create a gizmo coil. And then when you cut your oval jump rings, you always cut them on the long side. So either one of the long sides you cut them on. You never cut them on the short ends.
Okay, because that's where the curve is, I suppose.
Yeah.
Now, the one that is being demonstrated on it is the round, but it's exactly the same technique. The blue that I'm holding here in the studio is the oval. You do get the 3 different diameters, so you can get what size jump rings?
5 by 3, 4 by 6, 7
5 by 3, 4 by 6,
7 by 5.
7 by 5. Fleur.
I'm a geek.
You are a jump ring geek.
I am a jump ring geek.
£7.95 only. Absolutely incredible. No, that's not a bad thing. It's your field.
No, it is, though, isn't it?
It's not. No. It's not. It's really not.
We go on mastermind.
For jump rings.
My chosen subject,
I'd love
Jewellery
to
Maker
see that.
tools. I know all the diameters.
I would love to see that. Okay, I've got a cheeky recap here of your DVDs, and it is a Fleur exclusive. So, listen, we love you and your gemstone geekiness. Not gemstone, what are we talking
Jump
about?
ring geeks.
Jump ring geekiness. Yeah, I love that. That's a positive thing.
Yeah.
Never be afraid of that. Education.
Exactly.
You know your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, how would you like 3 hours of Fleur? I would.
My children would say no.
Now, if you've been watching and you're thinking, I really want to get into chainmail, these are absolutely incredible. They're invaluable, really, aren't they? A DVD. Our guest designers still refer to it. You said that earlier on, Fleur, didn't you?
Yeah.
Still refer to our DVDs. We've probably got, gosh, hundreds. I don't know how many DVDs have we actually got across Jewellery Maker. But these are all specific to chainmail. Now, it includes, and I'll show you them individually. This is your Persian and Japanese weaves, and that has the full Persian, the half Persian 3-in-1, half Persian 4-in-1, Japanese flower, Japanese lace, and Japanese lattice. Now, if you don't know what I've just said, just look at the pictures basically at the front, and there's a few examples of what you could be creating. That's the name of each of those weaves, and it does feature the wonderful Fleur. The second DVD is your chainmail pendants. Now, again, with the lovely Fleur, you've got the helm flower, the starburst, the butterfly wings, Celtic square, full Persian cross, and the wrap cabochons. Not every single one is pictured, obviously, can't physically fit them all in.
That one, that's my favourite one because it shows you the weave and then the pendants. It's like 2 in 1 in each. I
was going to say, if you learn the weave, then surely it's the same for the bracelet.
Yeah. So if you wanted to make a helm bracelet, the helm flower is just connected together, but it actually shows you how to make the helm weave, then how to connect it.
So double whammy, really, double whammy. Last but by no means least, we have got the chainmail European weave. So this is probably the most historic and relevant to us here in the UK. For those of you that are particularly interested in the history of chainmail, this includes the introduction, the gemstone spine. So is that this one here?
The very top one.
Very top one here.
Yeah.
That's the gemstone spine. The inverted round mail.
That's the next one down.
Next one here. Then you've got the European 4-in-1. That's that one there. Then you've got the Romanov.
That's the next one.
There you go. That's there. Then you've got the barrel weave,
which is right at the very bottom.
Right at the very bottom. So there we go. Right, exclusive. We've had approval to be able to bring you Fleur's wonderful DVDs for just £2 each. That's £6. £6. And we were talking about how expensive tutorial DVDs are.
You can't buy a magazine for, you know, a craft magazine. They're like £4 or £5 for a craft magazine. So to have a DVDs for £2 each is really good.
Is amazing, yeah, exactly. A great gift as well. I mean, if you've been watching this morning, maybe you've purchased some of the jump rings, have a little look on our website. You can get the tools that you need, and that's it, really. And your DVDs, and you're good to go. You know, you could probably get there was chainmail bundles for what, a £5, £5.95 or something like that, plus your DVDs. A couple of tools for under £20. You're away, aren't you?
You're done, yeah.
Thank you so much, Fleur.
That's okay.
She's always incredible, isn't she? Now we've got a little sneaky recap, and I absolutely know that this is going to be the clincher. The clincher of what? I hear you say. The sellout. It is going to sell out. Our deal of the day is meant to last the entirety of the day, but unfortunately it's not going to, simply because it is the tote bag. I love these. I think it's just such high quality. We're going to go straight into, put your price tag straight onto your screen, because already hundreds have sold, over 100 in actual fact. We've got many in baskets still. Show you around the tote bag. It is, as you can see, really structural. So it's rigid, and it has got like an internal frame which you can't see. It's almost like, in fact I can almost feel it here, there's a metal frame, so really built to last. All of the different components and pockets for your components and findings and gemstones, whichever they are. Zip compartments, so they're all different sizes. You've got that structured plastic handle, which is curved for comfort grip as well. So really, really secure. The shoulder handle, adjustable shoulder handle, sections inside as well. Plus your lucky dip of all of your findings. So you get 50 different types. Clasps, earrings, extenders, threading materials. So who knows, but it's a lucky bag. You'll get a lucky dip, but you'll get loads and loads and loads and loads. £24.95 only. I mean, you can't buy storage bags for that kind of price elsewhere. No. Not for this quality. I've not seen any.
I've not seen a craft bag for that price.
No, and Kim, very lovely Kim messaging saying, "Elle, be great for the baby." Great idea. They're so expensive, and you're just paying for the fact that it's got baby in front of it or wedding in front of it. That's another thing which increases the price tag. Craft.
Yeah. Just thinking, if you went shopping with that, because you've got that sturdy handle, you could get all your tins and things like that in there, and it would
good point.
The weight distribution would be great because they've got
That's
that sturdy
a really,
handle.
Really good point. Check out though, we've got countless in baskets still. Okay, loads of you. I can't say exactly how many, but Kim is like, gosh, it's busy today, Elle. Check out those baskets. If you've just tuned in, get this as soon as you possibly can. The deal of the day, like I said, is meant to be repeated in the afternoon show and also in the evening show. I don't think it's going to make it to that, to be truthful. West Sussex, Janet, Alison, Fiona, Linda, Shah, hello to you. Jean, Brenda, Donna, Beverly, Nicola, Christine, congratulations. So many of you getting involved. We had just 200. It's not nearly enough. Now, I'm off. I'm going to be back with you tomorrow morning, so I'm finishing a little bit earlier today because I had a very early start. Very, very early start. So did Fleur, I know, but you can handle it, Fleur. You're hardcore. When are you back, my darling?
Next Saturday.
Not that you're going, you're staying here, aren't you?
No, I'm back next Saturday.
I'm just curious.
With my Claire.
You're back with Claire? Next
Another
Saturday.
double show, yeah.
Are you doing a double whammy?
Yeah, with Jenny Cleary.
Oh my goodness. Can I just say, the director who's handling those three, fair play. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. You've got gorgeous Zena up next, folks. Love you lots and take care.
I started crafting from a very young age, doing all sorts of different crafting. That developed into card making and then onto jewellery making.
I got started because my sister started giving us jewellery and the women in the family jewellery as gifts.
To start, I was making it for me, and then my friends saw what I was wearing, and then one of my friends said, well, why don't you have a go at selling? So I thought, well, I'll give it a go and see how it goes.
I do like a challenge. Because sometimes you look at something and think you can't do it, but then you don't know if you don't try, do you?
When you've made it and you've just made it, you think that's nice, put it on. When you get it out the next time, that's when you think, yeah, that looks really good.